5 of the INFINITY IAME Series Asia battle. Starting with the Junior X30 final, going into this race, the championship is an interesting one. I'm not sure if it's going to be decided today or not. Certainly looking at the way things are currently cooking, the likes of Carsten Chong and Jacob Stecki are trying to take this title fight down to the wire at round 6. Certainly with 10 points gained by Kostecki and a few more by Carsten Chong, it's definitely tightening things up at the sharp end of the field. Certainly the lead that Mason Kwong has going into this one is now 27 points. So he's still got a big advantage, but with him starting down in 16th on the grid, there's a lot of things that could change going into this next battle. Some big gains in the championship for Chong and Knox Black as well. Jake Kostecki getting a big 10, that puts him up the order. So he's starting to catch in a little bit. The biggest push, of course, is going to be that rain cloud over there to the far side. That is very, very thick and grey. And that is definitely moving over this way. 70% chance of rain over the course of the finals. But the question is, when? It could be very much the deciding factor in who gets what. The juniors, though, ready to go for an exciting battle. And they are obviously going to be very keen to put themselves into a decent starting position from the outset. We'll talk to the leading protagonists up at the sharp end of the grid ahead of the final. Jake Kostecki, 10 points and pole position going into this one. You've definitely made a statement here this weekend in terms of the championship fight. You want to take it down to the wire. Can you do that with a win?
Yeah, hopefully if I win this round, might put myself back in the championship with only 2 rounds.
It's been an interesting one in Junior X30. Every single weekend, somebody has been able to change the face of the battle. What's been the key factor for you this weekend? Why have you been so strong?
Just the kart's been amazing the whole weekend, the setup, everything.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing how you go in the final. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
Jake Kostecki ready for battle from the pole position, but the man alongside him, his countryman, right back in the championship fight as well. Knox, this has been quite an important one in terms of the championship fight. You made some big gains, 9 points made up in the super heats. Now you've got a chance to the title fight down to the wire.
Yeah, we'll see how Mason goes in the final, but I just gotta try and get points towards the championship.
The possibility of rain in the final can't be overlooked. How are you feeling if it does rain in the middle of the race?
I think I can adapt quickly to the rain, so we'll see.
All right, good luck, Knox. Let's hope it's a good one for you.
Thank you.
Interesting battles all the way down the field. Check out some of the other competitors around. Considering that Kato Lloyd didn't get a single qualifying lap in, for him to be there in 3rd position on the grid is really absolutely astonishing. And now he could be a real factor to go for the final. Gu Hotian, he's been super consistent all the way through. And on the Formula K, to put him into 4th position on the grid is a real statement of intent for the man from China. 5th on the grid, Carsten Chong. This is one of the key factors in this final now. He's got a chance to really take some points away from Mason Kwong, being P5. He could be the man who takes this title down to the wire. And then, of course, there's Pun Suksumsungchai. Really strong performance from the top 1 driver, 6th on the grid. The young Thai, definitely with a chance to come of age in this one. We've also got Noah Zampronio right at the back of the grid initially, working his way forward, definitely now with a chance of a podium finish. And then, of course, the returning Michael Lederer of Austria. Great to see him at the sharp end of the field in the Fireball. Some really big guns behind as well. You've got to go all the way back to 16th position to find the championship leader, Mason Kwong. It'll definitely be an interesting one for the contenders out there. But even more than that, I mentioned the rain cloud earlier. I'm feeling the first spots of rain. This could be a very interesting afternoon indeed. INFINITY IAME Series Asia always leaves us breathless. Round 5 here at LYL will be no different. So on a day where it looks like the championship fight could take a back seat, it's definitely going to be an exciting final. The wind has picked up, the rain clouds are gathering in, and that 70% chance of rain is looking almost 100 right now. But the junior drivers are definitely going to give us an amazing stage to play on. And a wonderful battle awaits us in Junior X30. All the way down to the back of the field, these drivers have a great chance of giving us a magnificent stage and a fantastic course of battle. We get the note on the front of the grid, but it is starting to rain here. The rain is really starting now, so this could be fascinating. Obviously, the karts are currently set up for dry conditions, so the fact that the rain is starting to fall fairly rapidly, this could change things, even as early as the formation lap. I do believe it was Annie Lennox who once sang, "Here Comes the Rain Again." Well, it's certainly back here in Malaysia. It was always going to be an interesting subplot here this afternoon, and it's certainly not been any different going into this one. A very big challenge awaits the drivers. Are they going to feel the wrath? Yes, they are. Here it comes. Oh, my word. It can happen very, very quickly in Malaysia. All of a sudden, the rain comes down to join us. It's almost right on cue and right before the start of the Junior X30 final. For the moment, the drivers are on slicks. Of course, it isn't raining heavily enough yet to be considered a monsoon, but this is Malaysia. We all know that it doesn't rain by the bucketful here. It rains by the ocean. And so it could be very interesting ahead of the formation lap. As far as the championship is concerned, it's a very interesting prospect ahead of us. Currently, Mason Kwong has 91 points going into this final. Karsten Chong is now second in the championship with 64, with Knox Black in third position on 61 points. There is now a very impressive battle, 30 points covering the top three drivers, with 36 available per weekend. That means there's 25 available going into the final. The points scored by Jake Kostecki, 10 points for him. That moves him up to fifth in the championship standings on 45. It's still an outside bet for the title for Jake Kostecki, but a win here and a bad race for the championship contenders could change everything. The maximum Kostecki can score this weekend is 70 points. But if Kwong doesn't finish in the points, that's only 21 points back. It's not over yet at all. But this race will certainly tell us the answer. Are we going to wait until September to crown the Junior X30 champion? Or can something spectacular happen and Mason Kwong pull the crucial 36 points clear? His lead is 27 at the moment. If he scores 9 points more than Karsten Chong or Knox Black, he is the champion. But he does start back in 16th on the grid. But if it's going to rain, well, all bets are off. One minute to go then before the Junior X30 final. Rain is in the air, but the shower has already stopped that came over the circuit. There is still more on the horizon, but the wind is our friend. It is trying to push the rain clouds away from the circuit. So we may just get away with this, but there are still so many battles. The top six drivers in the championship, all with a role to play in this one. Mason Kwong, Karsten Chong, Knox Black, Kevin Subhavanichanon, Jake Kostecki and Sahil Singh, the top six drivers in the championship heading into this one. And it's Kostecki and Black from the front row. But watch out for Kaito Lloyd, third position on the grid. The Japanese driver could cause a major upset. No laps in qualifying, don't forget. He started from the back, and there he is in third on the grid on merit. What an opportunity for him. The Japanese driver, coached by the great Yui Sekiguchi, with a great chance to upset the party. And of course, the Chinese driver, Gu Haotian, fourth on the grid as well. Not to be underestimated. Here we go. There's rain in the air, but fortunately, not on the track. And so we go to battle for the fifth junior final of 2026 in the INFINITY IAME Series Asia here at LYL. Jake Sanson in the commentary position, overlooking the start-finish line. And it really is, cometh the hour, cometh the man. For the man on pole position, Jake Kostecki for top one, alongside Knox Black, Kaito Lloyd and Gu Haotian on the second row of the grid. Then Chong Kahe, along with Punsik Sungchai. Noah Sempronio has moved all the way to 7th. Michael Lederer, top 10 on his return. And rounding out that top 10, it's Kevin Subhavanichanan and Sahil Singh, outside title contenders. Sanjana Dandu, P11. Ryder Zyong, P12. Then Serabash Katsuan and Juddy Rowland. Ryan Wafi and Mason Kwong, all the way back in 16th. Chevy Thompson, Jackson Gate, Jude Amun, and Papasantod Sarabavanleng, rounding out the top 20 from Akhil Rungta, Santok Singh, Medina Kamarusaman of Malaysia, and Lennon Barchi of Sri Lanka, ahead of Sujana Dandu, Hobart Yao, Altafred Wan, and JDP's Brodie Martin for Australia. This will certainly be the toughest race of the week for the Junior X30 drivers. 16 laps await us, and it will be very difficult to see who comes forward. The battle in the championship is 27 points between the leader, Mason Kwong, and second, Karsten Chong. The drivers are forming up for the start. It looks like they're going to go around for 2 formation laps because the lights are not on the formation. And it's the repeater light that's on, so we're not going to start the race this time. So the race is not under starters' orders yet. I think the drivers only thought there was going to be 1 formation lap. Well, in fact, there's 2. So as the contenders get themselves geared up and ready for the battle that will come, it's certainly going to be an intriguing one. This could be one of those days where the championship is not decided, and it would certainly be exciting to see it go down to the wire in September. But it's been a topsy-turvy season in Junior X30. From one round to the next, you're never quite sure who's going to get the victory. For Mason Kwong, he needs to outscore his rivals by 9 points. That is going to be difficult from 16th on the grid. If he can't do it, then the championship is not won yet. And I've got a feeling that the way things are currently looking in Junior X30, it could go all the way down to the wire. If you want to put a bet on a dark horse, look no further than Kaito Lloyd. Nowhere in qualifying, 3rd on the grid for the final. What a chance for the Gold Motorsport driver from Japan. Big opportunity for him from 3rd on the grid, alongside the Chinese driver Gu Haotian. But of course, all eyes are going to be on the front row. Jay Kostecki and Knox Black, the Australian rivals. One in the top 1 Motorsport Kart Republic, the other in the Biralat Asia. They come down the bridge and out through the final hairpin. And 16 unpredictable and very ruthless laps of racing in IAME Series Asia will get under starters' orders. Kostecki on the inside, Black on the outside. Watch for Kaito Lloyd. Watch for Gu Haotian as well. Mason Kwong down in 16th. It's time to rock, roll, and race. Brilliant start from Kaito Lloyd. Into the first corner. He will be second behind the pole sitter, Jay Kostecki. Bit of a slide wide, but everybody seems to have got through without too much drama. Kaito Lloyd in a second already. 3rd position for Karsten Chong. Great start for the HB as there's contact in the corner already. As up in the air goes the 110. Big disaster for Akhil Rungta, and it causes a conflagration. Several drivers now having to make up the time. Not where they wanted to be at all, and certainly a chaotic start, but not for the leader, Jay Kostecki. Exactly where he was hoping to be, and he gets the launch that he was hoping for. But here comes Kaito Lloyd, immediately trying to get through on the inside, and now Karsten Chong is going to get around the outside in a 2nd place. Karsten Chong knows that this is his best chance of taking the title fight down to the wire in September. And he's going after Jay Kostecki early doors. Kostecki trying to gesture to Karsten Chong. Come on, let's go together. Let's work away from the pack. But I don't know if Karsten Chong has read the same memo. If he gets ahead of Jay Kostecki and wins this final, well, the championship will definitely go down to the wire in September. Here comes Karsten Chong. Down the straight and over the line. The battle is going to be intense. 15 laps to go. Jay Kostecki putting on the speed here. Up to the inside apex. And Kostecki runs a little bit deep. That's enough for Karsten Chong to get an invitation. Kaito Lloyd in 3rd still. Then it's Sempronio, Subhavanichanan, Sungchai. Oh, big slide from Subhavanichanan. Subhavanichanan slides the CRG. That almost upsets the apple cart. But Kostecki and Chong are a little bit loose after that sprinkling of rain. Here comes the challenge as Kaito Lloyd is going to have Subhavanichanan round the outside. And as they work their way to the chicane, 15 laps of racing, are going to give us a winner here in Malaysia, but it might not give us a champion just yet. Karsten Chong all over the back of Jay Kostecki. Mason Kwong has won. Karsten Chong in the lead. He's made a beautiful move on Kostecki. Kostecki tried to get it back, and Karsten Chong absolutely rocks it into the lead. Beautiful from Karsten Chong. He's won heats before. He's never won a final. This could be the time as Subhavanichanan gets on Kato Lloyd. And now we've got the push from Noah Zabronio and Knox Black. So Chong leads the way. Kostecki, Subhavanichanan, Lloyd, Zabronio, Black, Lodera, Ketsuwan, Thompson, and Sungshai. Where is Mason Kwong? He's in 18th. This is not good news at all for the championship leader this time. So Karsten Chong is looking for the maximum 25. Kwong is looking at 0. They work their way through on 14 laps to go. The championship is almost certainly going to go to the wire if it stays like this. If Karsten Chong takes 25 points, the lead will be just 2 when we get to the season finale. So a very tough mission for the drivers as Karsten Chong is looking to take this championship down to the throat. He leads Jay Kostecki. Kevin Subhavanichanan is closing up on the top one Kart Republic. The HB team have been the most surprising squad of the season. Nobody expected them to win first time out in Malaysia back in January. But that's exactly what they did with Karsten Chong. He's been super consistent since then, but he has yet to win a final. This could be his moment. Jay Kostecki working with Subhavanichanan though. Knox Black is ahead of Lloyd, Lederer, Thompson, Ketsuwan, and Zabronio. Subhavanichanan got ahead of Kostecki. This is turning into a bit of a nightmare for Jay Kostecki, but what about Knox Black? He's right there in 4th position. He wants to keep himself in the title fight, and a top 3 position for him would be very strongly wanted. Subhavanichanan into 2nd position now. The Thai driver from CRG looking very strong, but Karsten Chong is 2. Knox Black looking for the move on the inside of Jay Kostecki, and behind them, that's the move from Lederer. Michael Lederer. What a return to form for the Austrian. But round the outside, Kato Lloyd hangs on. Great racecraft from the Japanese driver. Looking so confident when he's on the warpath. And so Kato Lloyd going well. Chevy Thompson in front of Siripash Ketsuwan. Zabronio. Judah Moon is up into the top 10. Everybody watching back home in Sydney will be elated with that. P10 for the man who got the original pole position. And it's not done yet by a long stretch. Lederer trying to close up on Kato Lloyd. The top 4 are very close. Here comes the battle for 5th position. Michael Lederer all over Kato Lloyd. But look at the top 4. Subhavanichanan leads. All the way back to 4th for Karsten Chong. Subhavanichanan is the leader. Kostecki 2nd, Black 3rd, and Chong back down to 4th. Why, goodness me, Junior X30 is an absolute lottery at this moment in time. And Jay Kostecki still has the power to work his way further forward. But how about this for a battle royale? It is definitely looking increasingly tough out there. And for my money, that's 4 different manufacturers of chassis in the top 4 places. Karsten Chong was the leader. Now he's 4th. 3rd is Black. 2nd is Kostecki. But for the first time in 2026, it's Kevin Subhavanichanan on the CRG who leads the final. This would be a breakthrough victory for Kevin. Jay Kostecki finds the move on the inside. Subhavanichanan defends it round the outside, and that's going to give Black the momentum into turn 1, but he hangs back. Kostecki and Black looking for the move on the inside line. Kostecki fights. He hops over the curb. Black is going to get the momentum. Chong trying to work with him. Oh my word, there's only 11 laps to go in this one, and it's already like it's the last couple of laps. Chong goes for the move. 3rd position. He gets back in on Knox Black. Karsten Chong to 3rd. Kevin Subhavanichanan still driving away from Jay Kostecki with Chong, Black, and in the background, Kato Lloyd. And there's a big handshake that comes in, a shake of the fists for the man in P6. That is Chevy Thompson and Kato Lloyd. Lloyd is fuming. So Kato Lloyd clearly doesn't like the way that Chevy Thompson got ahead of him. So Kato Lloyd a little bit annoyed with the way things are. Subhavanichanan over the top of the crest of the rise. Kostecki still 2nd. Chong and Black. Then it's Chevy Thompson and Kato Lloyd from Siripash Ketsuwan. then Lederer, Amoon, Zambronio, Sanjana Dandu, Juddy Rowland, another great drive from Kwong, Tiong, Sibba Van Leng, and Runta. So Mason Kwong is back into the points. It's going to be a tough one for him, but at least he's working his way through. Now P12 at the expense of Juddy Rowland, who has spun away down to the back of the field, I'm afraid. So Juddy Rowland in trouble. It was looking like a positive start for him, but unfortunately, Rowland has dropped back. So Kevin Subavanichin on 0.2 of a second clear of Kostecki at the line, but Kostecki really wants to battle with the tie. Up to the inside, Black had to think about Chong. And now Chevy Thompson and Kato Lloyd have caught up, as has Siribash Ketsuwan. Siribash Ketsuwan, there goes Black. Makes the move on Chong into third position. So Knox Black fancies his chances to close up on the two leaders, especially now that it looks as though Subavanichin and Kostecki are trying to pull away at the front. Jay Kostecki is not panicking. He's just getting himself dialed up. Second position for the moment. But he is working away from the pack with Subavanichin on, as that is the Kart Republic of Chevy Thompson trying to get in on Karsten Chong. But Karsten Chong is not going to be easy to overtake. 9 laps. Up to the far side, and Subavanichin on still leads Kostecki. They're a second and a half ahead of Knox Black. Karsten Chong going well, Chevy Thompson, Kato Lloyd, Sidipash Ketsuwan, Michael Lederer, Judah Moon, and Sanjana Dandu in the top 10. Just a whisker in front of Noah Zapronio. And there's a big battle further back. Zapronio squiggling away as they run through in close proximity. Kostecki running close, then Knox Black. And it looks as though Karsten Chong has dropped a long way back. Karsten Chong has lost a big amount of positions there. So Karsten Chong has rejoined in front of Zapronio. What a mistake for Karsten Chong. That's going to be a tricky one to recover from, especially now that Mason Kwong is working his way back through the field. So the DRM Paralin up into 12th position, still with a chance to put some points on the board and keep the statistics favorable. So Subavanichin on in front of Jay Kostecki. Kostecki trying his best to get this title back in his own hands here. So Jay Kostecki pushing hard, round to the far side. Subavanichin on protects his own line as Chevy Thompson is trying to get through on Knox Black. Kato Lloyd is fifth. Sinabash Ketsuwan sixth from Amoon, Dando, Chon, and Zambronio. Leder is 11th in front of Mason Kwong. But Kwong has got about a second to make up to get himself back into a decent battle out on the course. Subavanichin on and Kostecki trying to get away from the pack. Black in third, sorry. And now there's a battle on because Kato Lloyd is trying to hold on in front of Chevy Thompson. Sorry, that is the 112. Yes, it is Chevy Thompson. So Kato Lloyd having got ahead of him. Now into fourth position, trying to close up on the man in front. Hang on, that's Siribash Ketsuwan. So Ketsuwan has managed to get in front of Lloyd and the 112 of Chevy Thompson, with the 111 of Judah Moon making an amazing comeback. The Australian on the Rush Performance Henzer, who got the original pole position, looking as fast as he did on Saturday afternoon. So still Subavanichin on a Kostecki, and they're still pulling away from the rest of the pack. No need for Kostecki to go for the overtake. He's letting Subavanichin on do all the work. Black is trying to stay with them. Then it's Ketsuwan, Lloyd, Thompson, Amoon, Chong, Sanjana Dandu, and Noah Zapronio. That's a lovely move from Judah Moon. He gets up into sixth position, past Chevy Thompson, his countryman. So he gets up into sixth place now. Judah Moon looking good to get back into the top 5. It's the top 5 that get a podium trophy, don't forget. So in the INFINITY IAME Series Asia, it's the top 5 who are on the podium. Same as it is in the Porsche Carrera Cup Brazil. 7 laps to go. And Kevin Subavanichin on and Jay Kostecki are 1.6 clear of the rest of the field. They've done the homework to make sure it's only those two fighting for the victory. They've got to stay together for the next 5 laps. Then they'll battle away in the final 2. But Kevin Subavanichin on, the tie driver for the CRG team, looking good at the moment. There's Judah Moon battling away again with Chevy Thompson. Thompson back on the inside. Takes back Judah Moon. But the 14-year-old from Sumit Prakan in Bangkok is leading the way from Jay Kostecki. Big chance for the 12-year-old from Henley Brook, Western Australia. He wants to get himself back up into the lead of the race, but he's got plenty of time to do it. Here comes the charge from Ketsuwan. Ketsuan has lost out to Chevy Thompson. And now Judah Moon looks for the move on Ketsuan. Beautifully done. Judah Moon finds the gap and makes his play. Great racing from young Judah Moon. Further back, it's looking pretty tight for Sanjana Dandu. Here comes Karsten Chong. Back up the inside, and there's Mason Kwong. Kwong is going to get the move on Dandu here. No, he's not. Dandu holds the inside line. Now Kwong goes for it on the inside. A big sweep up. It's round the outside. Contact with Noah Zampronio. Zampronio spins around, and Zampronio hits the side of Kwong's kart and pirouettes around. And that's very unfortunate for Zampronio. Mason Kwong has the biggest get-out-of-jail-free card this year. And right behind him is his old buddy, Michael Lederer. Now, an interesting challenge continues on there as Mason Kwong now moves his way up into 9th position. That's more points on the board, and he's only 1 place back from Karsten Chong. That means he won't become champion this week, but he'll have a much bigger advantage heading into the finals next month. It's a great recovery drive from Mason Kwong. He's on for some certain points now in 9th position. And still, Kostecki hunts down Subhavanichanan. Knocks back his 3rd from Lloyd, Thompson, Amoon, Ketsuan, Chong, Kwong, and Lederer. There's the battle for 11th. That is Radha Tsiong now having got ahead of Sanjana Dandu. Akhil Rungtup, Sahil Singh, and Guhao Tian are in the final points-paying positions. But it's looking like it's 25 points to the good here for Kevin Subhavanichanan on the CRG, and that really does change things for him. If it were to stay like that, he'd go up to 72 points. So it certainly brings him closer to the fight. A big one for Subhavanichanan, but can Jay Kostecki get in front? He's currently looking at 20 points for 2nd place, and that would certainly rise him up to 65. But we've got 4 laps to go here. And this is all going to be about who's got the patience. Both Subhavanichanan and Jay Kostecki have outside chances to become the champion in 2026. They've got to make big points from now on if they want to get it done. It's looking like it could be 25 for Subhavanichanan. That'll put him on 72. Kostecki's looking at 20. That'll put him on 65. With Mason Kwong currently in 8th place, looking at what could be 99. So it certainly isn't done. Kwong would still have a big lead. But these two are definitely pushing the maximum to the line up until September to keep this fight alive. And with 3 laps to go at the end of this one, it's starting to be an important lap for Subhavanichanan to push. He wants to get clear of Kostecki. If he can build a bit of oxygen, then the toe won't matter so much. This is where Subhavanichanan really trying to build it. Can the tie get the victory from Kostecki? Black is 3rd, Lloyd is 4th from Thompson, Amoon, Ketsuan, Chong, Kwong, and Lederer. Oh, Kostecki using the curbs to try and close up. He really was pushing the inside line. He's on the limit of adhesion here. And so the 14-year-old versus the 12-year-old. This is the last year that Kevin Subhavanichanan can race in the juniors before he steps up in his Senior X30 next season. He wants to bow out in the top 5 of the championship, maybe even as the champion of all. And Jay Kostecki, who was the youngest man in Junior X30 at the beginning of last year, well, going very well indeed to keep up the fight. Let's see if there's still a big opportunity for Jay Kostecki. Up over the top of the bridge, down the crest of the rise, and Kostecki is still within 3/10. That's going to be enough in the toe to catch up. 2 laps to go, and it's time to hit the button for Jay Kostecki. He knows he wants to get this win. He's got to catch Subhavanichanan in the toe, but how quick is the CRG going to be? Kostecki is closing. This could be enough. He's not close enough into 3. He's got to wait. Up towards 4. Will he go for it? Yes, he does. Kostecki dives in. He's there. Jay Kostecki takes the lead on the penultimate lap. And that's going to be 25 points to the good for Kostecki. That'll put him on 70. This has got all the hallmarks of a nail-biter to the wire. And Jay Kostecki has got ahead of Kevin Subhavanichanan. The tie may have one final magic trick up his sleeve, but Kostecki has made it 10 times harder. Jay Kostecki, 12 years old, from Henley Brook in Western Australia, doing a grand job in the lead for the Top One Motorsport team. There's tie interest in the top two positions. Subhavanichanon is tie. Jake Kostecki's team is tie. So either way, there's going to be a celebration back home in Thailand tonight if either one wins. But who's it going to be? One lap to settle it. And Subhavanichanon is quick in the toe. Here comes the CRG. Kostecki's going to need to defend round the outside. Oh, Subhavanichanon ready to go for it all. Kostecki holds the inside. And Kostecki really defending now. Subhavanichanon got a chance if they keep defending. Black and line, side by side. Kostecki over the curb. And Subhavanichanon's back in front. Kevin Subhavanichanon holds him to ransom and gets back into the lead. Look for Lloyd and Black. Lloyd and Black are battling away for third. Lloyd is nearly through in a third around the outside of Knox Black. So Subhavanichanon has only got a few corners now to navigate. Is he going to steal his first final victory in Junior X30? Up the climb. It's been a long time coming. Kevin Subhavanichanon has come so close so many times, but out of the final turn, it will at last be his day. CRG rejoice. Kevin Subhavanichanon wins the final here in LYL. Kostecki second from Knox Black. Kato Lloyd, Chevy Thompson on the podium from Judah Moon, Kitsawan, Kwong Chong, and Dandu. It looks like it'll be Guhao Tian who comes through for 10th in the end. From Dandu, Tiong, Silipa Banleng, Singh, and Akil Rungta. Kevin Subhavanichanon. It's taken so long. He's worked for so long to get to this point. And finally, the CRG Thailand man has got the job done here in Kuala Lumpur. How many times has the final got away from Kevin Subhavanichanon? How close has he come on so many occasions? Well, his best was good enough when he needed it to be. The CRG Thailand crew will be ecstatic. It's their first win in a final for such a long time. And boy, was it worth waiting for. Jay Kostecki has to be content with second in the same way that Knox Black has to be content with third. But my goodness me, there will be a celebration and a whopping big party in Bangkok tomorrow for the CRG Thailand crew. They take the win. And deservedly so. And with that, the championship goes down to the wire in September. We will not have a Junior X30 champion crowned in August. We will have to wait until September. And so the Junior X30 championship fight rumbles on. And a coming of age moment for Kevin Subhavanichanon of Bangkok. Amazing work. A really good battle all the way. Kostecki, second position, but right back in the fight for the championship. There's no doubt about that. Excellent work. A great recovery drive from Mason Kwong out of the points at the start, well into the points by the end of it. And that gives him a little bit of a safety barrier going into the season finale. So Mason Kwong, he's not the champion yet, but he has a big advantage going into the finale. So he'll have to wait a few more weeks, but it's certainly looking good for him. But it's never looked better for the man who will come through and victorious. He's done it! Kevin Subhavanichanon gets the win. Kevin. Oh, he's got to go on to the... He's taking the plaudits from everybody, but he's still got to go and weigh himself up on the top. Come on, Kevin. Well, he's really wanting to get the party started early. There's a lot of support for him down here. He's one of the most popular men in the paddock. He's had such bad luck. Not today. Kevin Subhavanichanon gets it done. Kev, come and have a word with us, buddy. I know just how hard you have worked for this. You've had so many near misses. Finally, you get the win. How'd you feel?
I feel great. It's my first win in IAME Asia, and it's a big accomplishment for me.
And you and the team have worked so hard. It's not just a first win for you. It's the first win for the team in such a long time. You guys have really dug deep. What was the difference for you in the final? How did you make it happen?
I did some chassis settings. I changed the car to be more free so I could get more time in the chicane.
And now with that, your hopes in the championship are still just about alive as well. You can take it down to the final. It couldn't be better for you today, could it?
Yes.
Cup 1 Cup. Well done, buddy.
Thank you to my parents and my team for supporting me.
Amazing. Well done, Kevin.
Thank you.
How about that? It's a lovely fairy tale story at the end of the Junior X30 week. So many big stories here at the end of it. But it's lovely to see Kevin Subhavanichinon come through for his maiden win in the Infinity IAME Series Asia in Junior X30 as well. The last year he can do it before he has to step up to senior. What a final. Fantastic. Right, from there, we move on to the Cadet X30 final. incredible 8 to 12-year-olds positioning themselves ready for a big fight. But it will be an exciting battle out there for all of the contenders. They know just how tough it's going to be all the way to the checkered flag. And after so many peaks and troughs over the weekend, it's going to be difficult to know who's going to come out on top. But certainly the Indonesian drivers have really had a sweet weekend. Jaden Arya, Mohamed Wibowo, and Sibyl Basalama definitely at the sharp end of the field. But there's definitely still going to be some pressure from the Chinese contingent, particularly Phil Chen and Zhang Yichen. They've been very, very quick all the way through the weekend. But a subplot underneath it all, there's still the championship fight going on at the front end of the grid. Basalama and Triathanakul have gained some points this weekend, and they've got to within 4 and 5 points respectfully of Chris Briello. But after a nightmare weekend for both the leaders, that gap of 30 points is still the same. If there's an increase of 3 by Max Schilling going into this one, he becomes the champion, and he's certainly going to be starting ahead of his main rival going into the finals. So it's certainly a tough battle for everybody. But one thing that we can say ahead of the Cadet X30 final is that the friendships and the battles and the camaraderie have remained the same throughout. These guys love each other, they race each other, they're good mates, they're good buddies, and it's still great atmosphere of racing. These guys at the very beginning of their motorsport careers. So many young contenders have gone from the X30 world as a cadet into the world of Formula One, including the likes of Isaac Hajar, Kimi Antonelli, Gabriel Bortoletto, and Oliver Behrman. So it's been very exciting to watch the drivers work their way forward into the Grand Prix world. There's no reason to suggest why any of these guys can't do the same as Sabah Basalama, clearly having fun on his way to the driver's photo. An amazing competition of drivers. I'm sure you're all very, very proud indeed of these racers, ladies and gentlemen. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen, your finalists for the Infinity IAME Series Asia Cadet X30 here at LYL. Give them a big hand as they go to the grid. So we'll talk to some of the contenders as they get ready for the start of an amazing battle for the victory. First of all, Mohamed Wibowo, pole position for you. Oh, starting second. So you decided to switch sides. So what was the reason for the switch? How does that worked out?
You need to ask my manager.
Okay, so perhaps it's all team tactics. How do you feel going into this one? You confident that there's a win in the prospect for one of you?
I'm pretty confident, full focus in the final, and I hope I win.
Okay, good luck, Mohamed.
Thank you.
His teammate is going to be on the other side of the grid, but as we've just heard, they've actually swapped sides of the grid. Jaden, it'll be an interesting one. How do you think you guys are going to go?
I think we're going to go pretty good.
Are we likely to predict what's going to happen in this one, or is it going to be pretty tricky to play out what's going to happen?
Pretty tricky.
Fair enough. At least you're honest. Cheers, Jaden.
Thank you.
So the two Indonesians on the front row of the grid. There's some big opportunities for the man just behind them as well. Kalen Delsey carrying the flags of both Thailand and the United States on his kart. Big expectations. You've just come off the back of your first win as well. Can you make it happen in the final?
Yes, I'm pretty sure I can make it through the first turn.
You've got the inside line, which will certainly help you. The switch to top one and the Kart Republic team, a team that's obviously from the same country you are. How important has this switch been? Both you and Jake Kostecki really seem to have made good use of the switch.
Oh, I have nothing to say.
No worries, buddy. Go get the win.
Thank you.
Kalen Delsey ready for the fight. The 5-minute board goes up, so we've still got a bit of time to talk our way through things. An interesting opportunity for Eason Zhang, a big chance for him. He's already pulled off some big moves over the course of the day from 4th on the grid. He is definitely going to be one to watch in that peak racing machine. Carson Choi, fresh off the back of his first ever pole position. Now he's got a chance to go for his first ever win. He'll be there in the top 5. Sabel Basalama, great victory in the heat yesterday, always up at the sharp end, and he's gained points in the championship this weekend. So it isn't over until it's over. He's got a great shot. Also, Phil Chen, first proper weekend at the sharp end of the field for him in Infinity IAME Series Asia. The young man from Hong Kong has definitely made very good use of that opportunity. Ichi looking good for another big one. Svirtanakul looking very hungry for success. Ever since he started making his way to the front end of the field, it's been permanent. He's now third in the championship going in, and he still has the chance to get into second. Big chance for Tia Boen as well. Big opportunity him for the Racing Galaxy. He'll be there on the inside of the fifth row of the grid, so big moves potentially to come from him. And then, of course, for Tian Haosuan. He's always been a contender for peak racing, the Chinese driver with some big opportunity. As far as the championship is concerned, we've got to go all the way back to 11th position for Max Schilling. 30 points to the good on Cruz Priolo. He knows that all he's got to do is stay in front of his main rival, and it's pretty much sealed before we even get to September. But with all sorts of contenders around him, such as Austin Lowe for the Muhua Motorsport team, and of course, his own teammate, Jensen Hammond, carrying the flag of Australia on the side of his cart under register for the UAE. He's going to be quick as well. As, of course, is Pimpak Kirang Fatai in the CS55 chassis. So many competitors to battle all the way through. You've got to go a little bit further back to find Cruz Priolo, but he's a fighter. And if Cruise Control is back in his mode, none of the others will see which way he went. It's going to be a very fascinating final, and it could be the last one of the title fight, but it'll certainly be nail-biting to the wire. The 3-minute board is in the air, and the cadets prepare for the toughest 14 laps of their week. The final is always make or break. They all gone to a fresh set of slick tyres, and all of this week's preparation, all of the hard intensity from the teams, from the management, from their mechanics, from their coaches, and of course their sweating parents, will all come to fruition here at LYL. There's something about the cadet category, its opportunity, its potential, and it's certainly excitement all the way. We're waiting for those clicks of the bulb, as I was saying to somebody earlier on. We're waiting for the moment when the light bulb goes off in the head and they realize that's how I'm supposed to drive. And once they figure that out, well, the rest of their career is written in the stars. The 1-minute board goes up at the front of the field, and the drivers in Cadet X30 will battle one last time in round 5. There's a lot riding on this race for the front row men. Team Indonesia and Team Rehabat JMX Phantom have been dominant all the way. Now they get themselves up to starters' orders, and it will be a tough one to decide who gets it after an immense battle out on the course. So 14 laps of racing will decide the fate of the Cadet X30 final. And it's certainly going to be difficult to predict. Everyone knows just how intense these races can get. Jaden Aria and Mohamed Wibowo on the front row of the grid from Kaylin Delsey and Zhang Yicheng. Then Carson Choi and Sabal Basalama, Chen Tsuyang and Sidovit Svirtanakul. 9th and 10th on the grid will be Xiao Boen and Tian Haosuan. Max Schilling on the brink of the title alongside Austin Lowe, Jensen Hammond and Pimpak Kirang Fatai, Jared Shung and William Mazzali. Rounding out the top 20, it's Oliver Newing and George Patrizzi from Darren Arthur Ghani and Aaron Akil. Then Marcus Colby and Alice Lowe, Liminouis Kanan and Michaela Draper, Aito Hosokawa, Thutamin Set, Zhang Tsiyu and Puruet Wongset. Then it's Chayat Limratanakan, Chotanin Itia Karararat from Zidane Iskandar and Chris Priolo way back in 32nd. Then Mohamed Yusuf Sahemi, Joshua Tan, Ahmad Johan on his debut, and the same likewise for Lu Hongyu. The 36 drivers that go to battle then in the Cadet X30 final. And as the battle will play out between them, Max Schilling can seal the title if he finishes ahead of Cruz Priolo, Sidovit Svirtanakul and Sabal Basalama. If not, then the dream continues on to September. It's going to be a very tough battle to win with so many great drivers out there. You've just got to breathe, focus, stay calm, keep the faith, go out there and enjoy it. So 14 laps of the cadet final await us as the drivers are ready for what awaits them. And so the battles rage in Cadet X30 as they come through on the final big push. Warming up the tyres and brakes to the optimum temperature. It's looking likely to be a very difficult final to win for all 36 of them. But of course, they all knew just how tough the battle was likely to be. And so the cadet final will be pushing us to the limit of adhesion. We'll see how the battle finishes up in the Cadet X30 contest. But 14 laps of the course, Jaden Aria scored the maximum 10 points from the superheat. And now the drivers will venture out of the final two corners. It's going to be an interesting one. Are we going to get to race conditions? We come off the turn. The Cadet X30 final is underway. A terrific start to the battle as the drivers make their way to turn one. It's going to be 3 widers round the outside. We're going to get a big push for first position from several drivers. It's the Chinese talent that comes through. No, it's Mohamed Weibo. Delsey's trying to get on the inside as well. But it's going to be Eason Zhang, I think, who's going to make the move on the inside line. And there's battles all the way. Great challenges as the drivers make some big positions on the opening tour. And as a spinner, coming out of the turn, we've got a couple of CRGs facing the wrong way by the look of it. But already a very big push as the drivers are going for the victory in the further positions. Already some big charges forward. But it is Mohamed Weibo who leads the way. Some big performances needed from this one if they're going to get the ultimate results they've been hoping for. But of course, everyone is expecting some very tough missions from everyone. And they're certainly going to be putting on some good shows in the first couple of laps. Mohamed Weibo leads the way. Kalen Delsey in second. And it looks like Eason Zhang, who is in third position. There's George Patrizi having made a decent start. He's got himself up the order. But where does it all lay on the land? Mohamed Weibo leads Delsey, Basalama, Eason Zhang, Chan, Aria, Austin Lowe, Sinovan Sriatanakul, and Max Schilling from Carson Choi, George Patrizi, and Jensen Hammond. So already it's all coming to play as Basalama gets up the inside line and moves up into second place. Sabel Basalama is continuing his charge for the title. Up in a second place comes Sabel Basalama. And he wants this to go to the wire. Cruz Briolo has gone from 32nd on the grid to 16th. That is half the field made up in one lap. That shows you how badly Cruz Briolo still wants to be champion. He's doing everything he can to make it happen. And it's an unbelievable opening lap from him. So a few of the drivers have ended up losing ground. We've ended up getting Jared Zhang, Limanois Kanan, Chayat Libertanakan, Purat Wongset, Priyo Idiakararat and Zidane Iskander, all dropping to the back of the field. But as for Mohamed Weibo, he leads the way for the moment in front of Sabil Basalama. The Indonesian in front of Kalen Delsey. Then it is Eason Zhang, Jan Hautuan and Jaden Aria still in the top 6 from Austin Lowe. Ichi, Sriatanakul and Max Schilling in 9th place. Out through turn 1. Still positions being gained as much as they possibly can. On the inside, Sabah Basalama takes the lead. Delsey goes with him and gets the lead temporarily. Basalama holds it to the inside. And that will do for Sabah Basalama. He leads here in Malaysia. So Sabah Basalama looking to get the victory in the final that will certainly take the title down to the wire. But it looks very good indeed for the drivers around him still. Mohamed Weibo wants to take on his countrymen. Having got into that move, Schilling is going to make his own bid. He gets up the inside of Austin Lowe, and he's through. So Austin Lowe definitely now helped out by the battle from Max Schilling. as Mohamed Wibawo is going to try and make the bid again on Sabil Basalama. Sabil Basalama looking to get the move into the victory position, and he got it done. But Wibawo is not going to let him have it for long on the inside, and Wibawo back into the lead again. Fantastic racing between the two Indonesian drivers. Wibawo from Basalama once again as they come off the final turn, and Basalama fancies his chances here. Kalen Delsey third. Eason Zhang now behind Jaden Aria, who is coming back on the warpath. Max Schilling has worked his way up into 7th place. Now he's got ahead of Sidovic Sriathanakul. So he's ahead of 2 of his rivals. He's ahead of Cruz. He's ahead of Richie. Now he's got to try and find a way past Sabil, but he's got to make some overtakes if he's going to make that happen. On the inside line, Chana Swan is defending in the battle for 5th and 6th position as Mohamed Wibawo is trying to get away from Sabil Basalama. Basalama's trying to go with him to build a bit of a gap, and there's some big contests behind. Up the inside, that is Carson Choi. He gets on the inside line and passes Max Schilling, as too has Ichi. So the two DRM Paralins have managed to get ahead of their teammate Max Schilling. Still a long way to go. Still the battle's going strong up at the sharp end of the field. They come up over the top of the crest, and there's some big battles. But at the moment, it is Mohamed Wibawo. Here on the inside comes Ichi. Ichi gets the move, and that puts him in front of Chian Hao Tuan. So Basalama going in behind Mohamed Wibawo, working to make his way further forward. Certainly some big opposition coming from drivers in the mix. Looks like Oliver Nguyen has had a bit of an issue on the last lap. He's dropped back down the order to about 21st position. Aiden Zhang is down there with him. So some problems already. But Mohamed Wibawo versus Sabil Basalama, the two Indonesians. Kalen Delsey is in 3rd for Thailand. And then Jaden Aria in front of Eason Zhang and Sidovic Sriathanakul. Chian Hao Tuan from Carson Choi, George Patrizzi, Max Schilling, Jensen Hammond and Cruz Priello. It'll be a tough fight down to the wire as there's several points on offer here. But Sabil Basalama can sense the chance to go for the victory in the final. So it looks like it's all going to come together for him. He puts on the steam. Sidovic Sriathanakul has got pressure from behind him. Chian Hao Tuan. Here comes the move from Max Schilling on the inside of George Patrizzi. Patrizzi goes up. He manages to recover it and he spins. Oh, tough move there. Schilling and Patrizzi get very close together. Schilling was determined to make the overtake. Patrizzi gets going again. But that certainly hampered Patrizzi's progress. And it might have hampered Schilling's as well. We have to try and figure out what the state of play is. But certainly some very big moments in this race as the drivers are certainly finding some scary moments out there. But at the moment, it's all going fairly to plan for Mohamed Wibawo. He's got the opportunity at the moment. Sabil Basalama, 2nd place in front of Kalen Delsey, then Jaden Aria. Eason Zhang in 5th position. They're side by side for Sidovic Sriathanakul and Carson Choi. In the mix there is Chian Hao Tuan. They've got to be careful that they give each other enough space. Off goes Carson Choi, and he'll recover behind the Chinese driver. Looking for the overtaking moves. You've got to try and find these overtakes. Got to cool off, got to chill down and look for these overtakes. As now Max Schilling has got ahead of his teammate Carson Choi. Up the hill he goes. Closing up on the 77 of Chian Hao Tuan. Still a good battle in the mix as Mohamed Wibawo is trying to pull away from Sabil Basalama. The leader's getting clear by 0.8 of a second to Kalen Delsey, but Delsey is not far away in the tow. Basalama just trying to play the tactical game. 8 laps to go and some big problems, and we could get some moves as up the inside. A couple of positions are being shuffled in the deck here. Up to the inside line, it looks like Max Schilling has got to the front of the queue. Fantastic from Schilling, all at the expense of Sidovic Sriathanakul. So he drops back down the order, losing 3 places. That's enough to put Schilling into 6th position. The only man now standing in his way for the title is the man in 2nd place, Sabil Basalama. So it's really going to be a tough fight all the way. There is Schilling now on your screen. Up in front of Carson Choi, INF1NITY and INITY. They work their way through under the bridge. But there's still 7.5 laps to go as INF1NITY is trying his best to make the pressure work in his favour. Carson Choi gives a little love tap to Max Schilling. But Schilling, who's now up to P6, Choi, who's now up to P7, they're all making some good moves. Chris Briello, meanwhile, is in 11th position, still making an amazing race of it from 32nd on the grid. But it's Wibowo and Basalama from Delsi, Aria, Zhang, Schilling, Choi, Tian, and Sriathanakul in front of Austin Lowe, Cruz Briello and Alice Lowe. Up on the inside line, that's Max Schilling going to battle again as he once more manages to get past on the inside of the 77 of INF1NITY, who managed to get past him again briefly. Now Choi battling to keep the Chinese teams at bay. Big racing all the way. Never going to be easy to see who's going to get the best of it. But some fantastic racecraft all the way. And some big moves up at the front end of the field. Here comes the move from the 77 of INF1NITY. He gets through on Zhang Yicheng. Eason Zhang down to 5th position, down from 5th position now. Losing a few places in the process. But there's some big battles all the way. And now we look to the leaders. Mohamed Wibowo and Sabil Basalama. Still a big battle between those two. Kaylin Delsi 3rd. 4th is Jaden Aria. And in 5th place now is Max Schilling. Still a long, long way to go. 6 laps left of this race. And it looks like the championship is going to go down to the wire in September. But the contenders are definitely putting everything they've got to make it happen. Basalama's not giving up, Schilling's not giving up, nor is INITY, nor is Cruz Briello. And there is Cruz Briello. He makes a lovely move in a turn 3 on the inside of Austin Lowe. That puts him into the top 10 from 32nd on the grid. You cannot deny Cruz Briello is driving out of his skin. Amazing comeback from the Australian as Cruz Briello is absolutely resolute. I am not giving up. A big battle now as Carson Choi is trying to go with Max Schilling to get away. And so the battle will go to the wire. Sabil Basalama still behind his countryman Mohamed Wibowo. Not in the same team, but they are from the same nation. And everybody back home in Indonesia will be hoping that the flag will still be on top at the end of the weekend. A great battle all the way thus far between Wibowo and Basalama, and it looks like it's going to stay that way. Cruz Briello is really fighting to try and get himself up the order, and he's made some more great moves on this lap. Where is Briello going to be at the end of this lap? Across the line, and I think he's in 9th place. 8th place, in fact. Cruz Briello is absolutely monstrous in this final. 32nd on the grid. Now he's in 8th position. What a performance from Cruz Briello. And only 3 places ahead of him is his main rival for the championship. And so they're going to keep pushing on. But out in front, it is Mohamed Wibowo and Sabil Basalama still trying to get away. Basalama really wants to win this one. More perhaps than he's ever wanted to win a race in his life. Choi is still working hard with his teammate as Max Schilling continues his bid to move further forward. Some big moves in the petition as they continue on. But a big charge forward. Everybody's still looking for their moves up the order. There's a great battle going on at the moment between Thutamin Set and the number 6. That is the talented Thai racer, Porowit Wongset, or Porsche as he is known. So as the leaders go through once again, there's a big battle to try and make the move on the inside. That's INITY. Getting through on the inside of Eason Zhang. And Austin Lowe is going wheel to wheel with him as they go down the straight. 4 laps to go. And surely it's game time for Sabil Basalama very soon. Kaylin Delsi 3rd. Aria 4th. 5th position, it's Schilling and Choi. And then Cruz Briello, there he is in 8th. On the inside comes Eason Zhang. He goes through on Sidovit Sriathanakul. Austin Lowe is in the mix as well. But Sabil Basalama really wants this victory. He's in 2nd position. And all of a sudden, it looks like it could be tight. Basalama 2nd. There is Schilling in the background, battling with his teammate, Carson Choi. And here comes Cruz Briello. Cruz Priello on the inside, 7th place for the LDP, for the JDP Lenzo. Magnificent from Cruz Priello. One of the drives of the season from 32nd to 7th. And it really is going to be an immense battle as Sabil Basalama continues to battle away, making his moves on Mohamed Wibowo in the lead of this race. So still they battle, still they war in position. But as they come through with 3 laps to go, Sabil Basalama right on the tail of his countrymen. If it stays like this, then we are going to go to the finale in September by just a couple of points. There's not much in it at all. Here goes Basalama, and he leads. Sabil Basalama, 3 laps to go, gets ahead of his countrymen. And with a victory, he bags himself 5 more points in the championship if he could stay in this position. So Sabil Basalama is determined to take this championship fight to 4 weeks' time right here in LYL. But it's certainly going to be a momentous moment. Mohamed Wibowo trying again. He's still got time. He's still got opportunity. And here comes Cruz Priello behind Max Schilling and his teammate Carson Choi. This isn't over yet. You've got to keep racing. You've got to keep your foot down. You've got to keep pushing. Mohamed Wibowo trying every trick in the book to get back through on his countryman Sabil Basalama. They are not teammates. They are not in the same equipment. And they are going to take it to the line. Sabil Basalama driving like a hero. Really wants to keep this championship fight alive. And in typical fashion in 2026, you can never predict how it's going to go. 2 laps remain. And it will be a tough one. Delcy 3rd, Aria 4th in 5th position. It is now Max Schilling. He's begging Carson Choi to work with him as they duel over 5th place with Cruz Priello. Priello's got a big mission to try and get ahead of them both. Choi's going to get up the inside, and he gets ahead of Max Schilling. And Cruz Priello gets ahead of Schilling. Well, the battle really is on, and Schilling is going to lose ground to his main rival. Cruz Priello's come through. Sabil Basalama is now dueling with Mohamed Wibowo. They've got a slow cart in front of them. That is Iskander. Iskander gets out of the way and makes sure that he's not going to hold them up. But this is really going to go to the wire. Carson Choi up to 5th. Cruz Priello up to 6th position from 32nd on the grid. You cannot deny it's been an amazing drive from the Australian. But it looks as though even without that, the championship is going to go down to the wire in September. As into the final lap will go Sabil Basalama. Into the last corner, and Sabil Basalama's got a push from Mohamed Wibowo. Here we go. 1 lap remaining this weekend. 3rd position is Delcy. 4th is Jaden Aria. And then it's Choi, Priello, and Schilling ahead of Isan Zhang. Janos. Here we go. Mohamed Wibowo is attacking. Sabil Basalama is defending. It's time to fight for the victory. What will happen between the 2 men? Sabil Basalama and Mohamed Wibowo fighting for the victory up front. Mohamed Wibowo has never won a final. Sabil Basalama needs to win this final. Through they come again. And on the back straight, it's all down to Mohamed Wibowo. Has he got what it takes to take on Sabil Basalama? 3rd place for Delcy. 4th for Aria. And there's an absolute dogfight for 5th place. Schilling's ahead of Priello. Schilling's made the bit. Oh, Basalama over the top of the back of Mohamed Wibowo. They come together. The leaders come together. And Mohamed Wibowo is going to take the lead as a result. Well, this could be decided after the race. But they collide, the 2 leaders. Mohamed Wibowo is going to come through and he will take the victory. It's unbelievable. And it's right to the wire. Mohamed Wibowo wins. Wibowo takes the victory from Sabil Basalama and Kaylin Delcy. Aria is 4th. It is Choi, Priello, Schilling, and Chan. It will go down to the season finale in September in 4 weeks' time. Oh my goodness. What a final. What a nail biter. And the championship is not crowned on this occasion. We will have to wait for Kuala Lumpur again in 4 weeks' time. My goodness me, that was always going to be a tough old race out there. And a very, very tough conclusion to Cadet X30 as Mohamed Wibowo manages to get ahead of Sabil Basalama with Kaylin Delsey in third position. Well, a bust up on the final lap between the first and second drivers. I have no idea what the result is going to be after that. There could be an investigation. There could be a conversation or two. But certainly it is a triumphant Mohamed Wibowo of Indonesia. So, fantastic racing. We've had a victory for Thailand, and now we've had a victory for Indonesia as well. After the victory for Kevin Subavanichinon in the previous Junior X30 final, now we've got a win for the flamboyant Mohamed Wibowo of Indonesia in the Cadet X30 final. Great racing all the way. And on this occasion, we will decide the fate of the Cadet X30 Championship title in September, 4 weeks from now. Well, was it ever going to be nail-biting down to the wire? Of course it was. And yet again, it's going to be a very interesting championship decider. Some very tough racing out there. And certainly, we always knew it was going to be tough. Kaylin Delsey's gone straight out of the pit box. There's already been some very interesting conversations post-race, I'm sure. But it's a great battle all the way. And Jaden Aria, so near to the victory yet so far on this occasion. It was always going to be a very difficult one to predict, but it is this young man, Mohamed Wibowo, who has crossed the line in first position, and that's what it means to him and his mechanic. Big result. Mohamed, come and join me, buddy. What an amazing, amazing fight. It was always going to be so close between you and Sabil, but you've got it done. You've won your first final. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel happy, finally. That's what I've been talking since yesterday.
You had never won a race until yesterday. Now you've won a final. You must be really excited for the party that's going to happen tonight.
Yeah,
Congratulations. Well done, Mohamed Wibowo. You're the winner.
thank you.
An amazing end to an amazing week. He had not won a single heat before this weekend. Now he's won a couple and the final. Very satisfying indeed. A very good day of race action. A frustrating one for all of the championship contenders. None of them end up at the top step of the podium. Sabil Basalama is the one that makes the biggest gain over the race battle. He's the one that comes through for second position. I think he's already scampered off to have a word with the team. But what an immense battle all the way to the victory. If you've got to win, and if you're going to go and get the victory, you're going to need to roll your sleeves up. That's the way it's done. Speaking of which, all the shenanigans of Master X30 are set to bubble over into a very competitive final. the 10 masters that make up the battle in the Master X30 final, ready to scrap it out one last time here this weekend. And it's certainly going to be a momentous battle as the drivers work their way to the victory position. They've all worked so hard to be here, and it is wonderful to see that the Master X30 category is just flourishing with every race weekend that occurs on our calendar. Fascinating work from the drivers at the front so far. And to the front row of the grid, we head to speak to the guys on the inside row. First of all, the fastest surgeon in Malaysia. Let's go and find a word with Tiru Kumaran. Tiru, tough job to get to this point. You were hoping for rain earlier. It certainly came, but not in time for you.
Yeah, it's okay, no problem. There's something we cannot control, right? So it's okay. We just have to do what we have to do.
There's a long race in front of you. You've been a real contender in the championship this year. What do you feel going into this one? Is there anything you can control?
I can control?
Yes.
My driving, that's it.
Fair enough, Tiru. The 3-minute board goes up, so we don't quite have enough time to speak to the man on the other side of the grid. But I tell you what, Luke Armstrong is more than prepared, more than ready. Only a handful of points will make the difference in the title fight, but he couldn't care less. Oh, Luke is going to come over and have a quick chat. Luke, how are you feeling going?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad for a Sunday.
It's just another race, but of course, for all of us, there's a lot riding on it. But as far as you're concerned, it's just going for another win, right?
Yeah, just another win. But we're all going to battle and have a good show and put on a good show for everyone watching. So that's the main thing, is the show is good.
How proud of you of the way that Master X30 has been growing over the last year or so and your involvement within it?
Oh, very proud. I'm glad the numbers are bigger, but the standard's higher as well. So I know Tiru and Wirisak and all these guys are going to give me a fight. So let's put on a show.
We're looking forward to it, mate. Good luck.
Thank you.
Luke Armstrong ready for another big battle on the starting grid. An empty space here on the second row of the grid. So clearly there's already one hole in the field, which is definitely going to be a dramatic one going in. But for Wirisak Yamchan, do not count him out. P is always going to give us a big show. He is the reigning champion, and he's not going to relinquish the crown without a fight. It's time for the Master X30 final here at LYL. So already a very tough mission awaits the contenders in Master X30. It looks like we're only going to get 9 of them on the starting grid on this occasion, because it looks like we are missing one. And the key driver that we're missing is the man who's been leading veteran all the way. Peter Chua is absent from the grid. So suddenly the veteran race is open season, and we've got 4 very tough competitors who could take that. Tamiko, Jadi Julkanine, Darren Formosa, and of course, Luke Purser. Such riding on this one. It'll be very entertaining. Dramatic scenes here as Peter Chua has left the grid. He's in the pit lane, waiting to go. So I've got a feeling he could well be starting this race from the pit lane. Whatever it is, it's a mechanical issue, and they're going to try and get him started. So off we go then. Luke Armstrong and Tiru Kumaran from the front of the grid. Wirisak Yamchan will be alone on the second row with Ian Willock and Luke Purser, Tamiko, Jadi Julkanine, Howard Zaralo, and Darren Formosa starting from the back of the grid as the 388, Peter Chua, is now permitted to leave the pits. So Peter Chua looks like he will take his position on the grid, but he'll do so by leaving the pits. If he can get back into his original position before the red line, then Peter Chua does still have a chance. And so we go to battle in the Masters final. For the front row of the grid, Luke Armstrong versus Tiru Kumaran. with second position on the grid. Very much the inside line for this one. And Peter Troy trying to recover his position on the starting grid. If he can regain his position before the red line, then Peter Troy can take his original grid position. If not, he's going to have to start this race from the back of the grid. And that is not clear as to who it's going to be. So as Luke Armstrong slows down the pace, Tiru Kumaran is in there with. It's definitely going to be an intriguing one as Peter Troy desperately tries to catch up to the pack. He should be able to get back in position without issue here. They're going to push like crazy, the marshals, to help him, motivate him to get to his original grid position. He's got time to get back into his fourth position slot, so I think he's going to make his original grid position without too much difficulty. As long as he gets there before the red line, he's all right. I wonder if he's actually going to take his position at the back. I think he is, you know, so Peter Troy is actually going to start the race from the back. Maybe he has to start from the back. I'm not entirely sure on the regulation on that one, but maybe he's elected not to take his original grid slot. Perhaps maybe just to be on the safe side, he elects to go from the back. Doesn't matter, I can win in the veteran from the back anyway, he thinks. Well, let's see if he does it. Luke Armstrong alongside Tiru Kumaran. This could be the race that gives us a Master X30 champion for 2026. But before then, we will have a battle. The lights go out. Luke Armstrong and Wirasek Yamchan have immediately got the jump on Tiru Kumaran, and they go side by side initially. Now Armstrong's held the inside line. Wirasek Yamchan's going to try again. Armstrong's going to defend the inside line this time. And Purser! Luke Purser is in third place. What a start from Luke Purser. An absolute rocket ship through this field. Magnificent from Purser. He's in third in front of Kumaran. What an electric start. Howard Saralo's gone with him. And so Armstrong is now going to cover his bases. Yamchan's going to try and make the bid to get through on the inside of Armstrong. Purser's made an electric start. So has Darren Formosa. He's up into sixth position. The Australians are on the rise here. Purser's up into third, and Formosa's up into sixth place. Great start from the Aussies. So as they work their way under the bridge, Armstrong is leading from Yamchan, but it doesn't look as though Yamchan is going to have much of an opportunity to get ahead of Armstrong here so far. The Simon Racing Tony car up front is clearly giving himself a bit of a shot, and here goes Howard Saralo on the inside. No, you don't, says Luke Purser. I'm having on this third place. Oh, and there's contact further back. That's Troy, Formosa, and Tamuko. They've all clattered into each other there at the final corner. Formosa bangs his steering wheel in frustration. And Peter Troy rejoins at the back of the field. My goodness me, it's getting heated in Master X30 as Armstrong looks like he's having a bit more of a defensive race than an aggressive race. I wouldn't be too surprised if Armstrong is trying to make a bit of a point here. Yamchan in second position, just running in close intensity to him. As Luke Purser again has an amazing run in third position. This is a fantastic drive from Luke Purser. He is leading in the veteran, and he is third overall. What a magician. There's still a long way to go, of course. 15 laps. You've got to keep the stamina. You've got to keep the speed, and you've got to be patient on your set of tyres. Howard Zaralo is certainly giving him a bit of aggro, but Purser is not taking the bait right now. All of the other veterans are squabbling amongst themselves. Jairi Julkanainen is in second place, down in seventh. And then it's Formosa, Troy, and Tamiko at the back. So all Purser has to do to win the veteran race is stay ahead of the other four. But I think he wants a little bit more than that in this final. It's amazing how the drivers really do save their best for last. They drive as well as they could, maybe 80 to 90%, and then they bring out the big guns for the final. But Tiru Kumaran is hanging on by a thread here in front of Ian Willock. Willock is pushing him hard, the Singaporean. Oh, and here comes the move from Yamchan. Yamchan's going to get on the inside, and he leads. Yamchan gets the move on Luke Armstrong. Meanwhile, Purser has been hunted down and vanquished. He's down from 3rd to 6th behind Zarilo, Kumaran and Willock. But he still leads the veterans. But Weirdasak Yamchan is leading in Master X30. A fantastic duel over the top of the crest of the rise. And as it currently stands, it's still going to be an immense race weekend for Armstrong, who's going to get to 139 points, with the Yamchan looking at 109. So it's going to be tight to the wire. But I'm not sure even this championship is going to be crowned this weekend. Not unless Armstrong can find the dive on the inside of Yamchan. Yamchan's really making him work for it. Round the outside goes Armstrong. Yamchan holding him up again. Defensive tactics now from the top one kart Republic. My goodness me, the Masters have given us a way better show than even we thought we were going to get. Weirdest Yamchan fighting, and there goes Willock. Willock dives in on Tiru Kumaran. That puts Willock in a 4th position. And so Armstrong battling away with Weirdest Yamchan. The lead of this race, the incumbent champion versus the reigning champion. And the reigning champion is in front. Weirdest Yamchan. P is giving it everything up against Armstrong. They go down the drop. Out to the final hairpin, and Armstrong really is putting on the steam. But Weirdest Yamchan looking very good here. Armstrong's got big pace down the straight, up through turn 1. And Luke Armstrong looking for the victory here. Weirdest Yamchan is protecting the lead well. Harith Zarilo doing a good job on the CS55 in front of Ian Willock, Tiru Kumaran and Luke Purser. Luke Armstrong driving a great race again behind his main challenger for the victory and for the championship title. So it's certainly going to be a big one. Tiru Kumaran still battling away as Armstrong tries to go right round the outside. They bang wheels. Armstrong not going to get the move. Yamchan really is putting us on the edge of our seats now as he holds the lead. How long does he really think he can defend like this? Nothing wrong with what he's doing. He's leading. He can defend as long as he wants. But Armstrong's got to be the one to make the overtake. And Weirdest Yamchan is really pressing all of Luke Armstrong's buttons here. They swapped sides on the grid, but of course, Weirdest Yamchan was going to be the one right behind Armstrong anyway. So it honestly didn't make much difference in the end. Here's the battle between Willock and Harith Zarilo, the Singaporean versus the Malaysian. Willock is looking very strong indeed in this one. Over the shoulder looks Weirdest Yamchan. Luke Armstrong is still right there. 3rd position, Harith Zarilo. 4th position, it is Ian Willock. A very strong race battle, and Weirdest Yamchan is going to need to defend big stuff. Armstrong sees the gap! And he's there, but Yamchan is back level. Armstrong wrestles, keeps the position. They bang wheels, and Armstrong is in front. Oh, what a great wrestle between them. Luke Armstrong dives for the move, and that'll do nicely. And here comes Harith Zarilo. He wants a piece of Yamchan now. That could be the moment. That might be all she wrote. An amazing tussle from Luke Armstrong. And it looks to me as though he's made the move that could make the difference here. He's out in front. He's pulled a little bit of oxygen on himself, and Weirdest Yamchan in 2nd. And Ian Willock is pushing Harith Zarilo in the attempt for 3rd position. Yamchan's giving it everything to try and get back in on the Australian. He's never driven so fast before. He's never driven so hard. But of course, Yamchan really knows how to set the card up for this place. They made this place their own the last few times they visited. And let's not forget that it's always going to be a tough challenge up front, as Weirdest Yamchan is now trying to make sure Harith Zarilo doesn't get a look in. Armstrong leads the way. Yamchan 2nd. And 3rd position, Harith Zarilo from Ian Willock, Tiru Kumaran and Luke Purser. 10 laps to go. And for Luke Armstrong, that was the moment he'd been waiting for. He was always going to make a do-or-die maneuver because that's what Weirdest Yamchan forced out of him. And now the tie has got to try and sustain the pressure from Howard Zaralo, from Ian Willock, from Tiru Kumaran, and from the man in P6, Luke Purser. Armstrong, Yamchan, Howard Zaralo, Ian Willock, Tiru Kumaran, and Luke Purser from Jadi Julkanine, Darren Formosa, and Tamia Coe. It looks like Peter Chua has had to bring his kart back into the pits to retire. So Peter Chua, the man who was the favourite to win the veteran, is out. It couldn't be a more nightmarish race for Peter Chua. The brakes are really squealing around this LYL circuit as the top 5 drivers are still very close together. Armstrong is not pulling away as quickly as he would like to from Yamchan. The tie is still trying to stay with him, but he needs to be in the tow. That's the only way he can get back on terms with Armstrong. And Armstrong's move was at the perfect corner to give him that little bit of a gap. So now Armstrong has not only got ahead, but he's been able to find a little bit more of a space to give himself that little bit of breathing space. And with a 25-point likelihood for Armstrong, that is going to put him onto 144, and that will put the championship well out of reach. Yamchan's second would give him 104, and Tiru Kumaran currently running in 5th place. That would only be good enough for 98. And so with this victory, Luke Armstrong is going to be the undisputed champion of Master X30 2026. It was inevitable, but you've still got to get the job done. And it's fascinating how the quality of Master X30 has forced even Luke Armstrong to dig deep and find something special to get it done. Yamchan's doing his best to stay with him as Ian Willock continues to put the pressure on Howard Zaralo. Over the bridge, the Malaysian Howard Zaralo running in 3rd place. Willock in 4th, Kumaran in 5th. Luke Purser is dominating the veterans in 6th position and looking good in front of Jadi Julkanine and Darren Formosa. Formosa has caught up to Jadi Julkanine, and he will try and make his bid to get into 2nd. He's done it! Out of the final turn, Darren Formosa into 2nd in veteran. So Formosa got through there on the inside of Jadi Julkanine. Now he is 2nd in the veteran class, and that will be a great return on his race weekend. So Formosa trying to close up now on Luke Purser. It looks like it's going to be an Aussie 1-2 in the veterans class, and an Australian winner up top. Luke Armstrong in the Masters. Yamchan, Howard Zaralo, then Ian Willock and Tiru Kumaran. The Singaporean and the Malaysian are battling over 4th place. There's your leader, Luke Armstrong. He will have 6 laps to go at the end of this one. And there is that squabble for 4th position. It's Willock and Kumaran. Ian Willock looking likely to get another podium finish for Singapore. But yet again, it's another weekend of so near and so far. He will really have wanted to go for the victory this weekend. He will have felt confident going in. But Tiru Kumaran is going to line him up, and Kumaran gets through. So Tiru Kumaran into 4th place ahead of Ian Willock. So the top 5 drivers are the Masters. The bottom 5 drivers are the veterans. But it is Tiru Kumaran who's made the move up into 4th position. And that puts him on to 13 points scored. So that's going to put him on bang on 100. But crucially, he'll be 44 points behind Luke Armstrong in the championship fight. Wiradasaki Yamchan will be exactly the same. No, sorry, he will be 40 points behind. And with 36 available at the finale at LYL, it means that Luke Armstrong will not be caught. It just fascinates me that even in a field like this, Luke Armstrong was almost given a little bit of a wind-up from the others. But he managed to come through it. He dug deep. He let them sweat it out between themselves in the end. And he has pulled away. World class from Luke Armstrong. A great contender. Always going to be at the sharp end of a Master X30 field. And of course, this will give him what he's been hoping for all season. Winning this race will make him the 2026 INF1NITY IAME Series Asia Master X30 champion, and he will be on a trip to Viterbo in Rome 2 months from now in the IWF. Ayam Chan is still staying within about 1.6, which is amazing, really, based on what we saw from Armstrong yesterday. Great speed and pace from Wiedersek Ayam Chan. Not able to beat Armstrong, but certainly able to put up a fight. Howard Zaralo still third from Tiru Kumaran and Ian Willock. Luke Purser is first ahead of Darren Formosa in the veterans. Third place is still the Malaysian Jaidi Zulkarnain on his debut in 2026. And so a great battle will come to an end in 4 more laps. It really has been a solid effort this year for Luke Armstrong. He's had a very dominant season. He wasn't there in the first round of the championship, don't forget. But ever since then, he has been the king of it all in Master X30. As far as I'm concerned, this season all goes back to Macau 2025. That fantastic battle that he had with his countryman Kip Foster and the Italian legend Davide Fore. The three of them were immense in the competition for the Asia final. It just slipped through the fingers of Armstrong and Fore to Kip Foster's favour. And ever since then, I think Luke Armstrong has been eager to set the record straight. But with the amazing work of Simon Racing and his buddy Jimmy McLaren, this has all been what they've been building up to. A fabulous run from Luke Armstrong is just 3 laps away from cement. And they are going on a nice holiday to Italy in October. But it will feel nothing like a holiday at all. It'll be the next big test in Luke Armstrong's IAME X30 season. Wiedersek Ayam Chan still only 2 seconds back. Very impressive from the tie to stay that close to him throughout. And here is the battle for third. Tiru Kumaran has caught up to his countryman. Howard Zaralo is defending. Kumaran is pushing hard. Tiru Kumaran not giving up yet. He wants to keep it going. You don't know what's going to happen in the end. So Kumaran will push. He tries. Can't make it stick on the inside line. Tiru Kumaran tries again. Howard Zaralo covers the inside line. It's a good move to cover it. So Howard Zaralo stays in third for the moment, but Kumaran is really pushing to get that third place finish. The Birala versus the CS55. Howard Zaralo over the top of the crest. Tiru Kumaran really determined to put the RL karting team into third position. This is a very big mission indeed for Tiru Kumaran. He knows there's another big chance. He's going to run right around the outside of turn 1 to set up the move. Surely he can't finish that. Kumaran, back end steps out. He saves it. Oh my word. Tiru Kumaran in full Cali Roman para mode. That was the save of the season for Tiru Kumaran. He doesn't get the move, but he definitely stops the hearts of everyone on the straight. My goodness. Tiru Kumaran having an absolutely immense battle to try and get ahead of Howard Zaralo. And the back end steps out in a massive power slide. And so now Luke Armstrong is just a lap away from the victory as he comes out of the final turn this time. Kumaran is still pushing to gain the ground on Howard Zaralo. He will still have one final push to see if he can get the move. Armstrong on the last lap. Ayam Chan only 2 seconds away. And Kumaran will try again. Howard Zaralo is going to defend as long as he can. There's Armstrong in the lead. But here comes Ayam Chan. Look in the background. Kumaran trying again. There's a technical flag on the... It's Tiru Kumaran. It looks like a technical flag was given for Tiru Kumaran. I'm not sure if that was in error or not, but it looks as though the 319 may be getting a technical flag. And Kumaran now gets his move. He's on the inside. He's there. Tiru Kumaran into third position. He saved it for the last lap, and the Malaysian is through. But of course, He has got a technical flag. It's on the graphic now. Kumaran into third, but he will get the technical flag. He will not be able to complete the race. That is disastrous. And with that final moment in the season, Luke Armstrong will come out of the final turn. And after an amazing battle, he wins the race. He wins the championship. Tiru Kumaran, the victor in Master X30 for Simon Racing. Wirisa Kamchan second. Kumaran is third, despite the technical flag. And Luke Purser takes the victory in the veteran category in front of Darren Formosa. And third place will be the debutant Jaidi Julkanine in front of Tam Yuko. Fairy tales galore in Master X30. Who'd have said the final was ever going to be boring? No, sirree. Luke Purser is the winner in the veteran, and Luke Armstrong is the winner in the Master. Fantastic racing. What a way to end it. We've got ourselves a champion in Master X30 after an immensely long season. And we've got a very deserving winner in the veteran. Not only did he take the win in veteran, but he actually put up a fight for the overall win. Wonderful scenes down here. Master X30 really sending us off on a beautiful note. And just as I walk through the paddock for the penultimate time, I can feel a rain spot or two just ahead of the Senior X30 final. Well, that could be a real twist in the tail, couldn't it? For the moment, it's going to be slicks for the start. But of course, we'll have to wait and see what Master X30 truly gives us. The drivers will come in after a fabulous Master X30 final, and it will be a deserving winner named Luke in both classes. Luke Purser wins the veterans, Luke Armstrong wins the Masters, and with that, the championship. At the end of that fantastic final, he now leads the championship by 40 points, and he cannot be caught going into the finale in September. Harith Zaralo, a great run, third position for him. The crew will be happy. Let's have a quick word with Harith. Harith, come over here, buddy. That was hard work, but you managed to get the job done on the podium there. That was a tough old race as well. How do you feel? The emotion for Harith Zaralo.
Extremely satisfied. Yeah, despite all the obstacles we've been through, yeah, my team managed to get it through. Yeah, congrats to them. Congrats to Luke, and we're us out for P1, P2.
Amazing work, buddy. We'll let you experience it with the team. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Amazing work for Harith Zaralo. But of course, we need to go and have a word with not just the winner here in Malaysia, but the new champion. Luke, it was a tough way to do it in the opening stages, but you gave us a great battle, and now it's all done. How do you feel?
No, good. That was fun. That was fun.
It looked fun out there.
Yeah, I think we rubbed a bit, but that's how it is, right? So he wasn't going to give it to me, and nor should he, and he just can't just let me win. So it's good. I'm glad we started on the outside. That was a better position this time, and he's very fast the first few laps. I was just like, well, go, I'm going to follow you for a bit, and then it started. So it was good. I was happy with that. Very good race.
Well, now you've got to get yourself a plane ticket for Viterbo in a couple of months. You feeling excited about that?
Yeah, it'd be nice having gone back for a couple of years, so to World Finals, that is. So, yeah, I'll just let that sink in and we'll review it. The pace wasn't as strong as it could have been, so I think we've got a couple of things to work for next race. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with that. It was fun just to fight someone who's clean, and you know, we didn't give much of an inch to each other, but I think we almost crashed over there, but we didn't, so that's good.
Great job, Luke. You win the race. You win the Masters X30 title. Well done, buddy.
Cheers, mate. Have a good one.
An amazing end to his season. Let's go and find the veteran winner after an absolutely fantastic battle that saw him go as high as third on the opening lap. Luke Purser, you little dancer. Well done, buddy. Veteran winner. You must be delighted with that.
Yeah, that last one, we gave it absolutely everything. We definitely had nothing left in the tank. Great start, just, dropped concentration, which settles down. But, yeah, the lead pack just got away, which, we held out to the end. But 18 laps is a lot.
I mean, in the first couple of laps, you nearly took the lead of the whole thing. You were really giving us a show out there.
The car came on well. My mechanics Spiros has just done a fantastic job all weekend. JDP Group, no, it's just been an awesome weekend. So great racing and appreciate you guys as well.
We totally loved it, and you totally deserve it. Well done, buddy.
Thanks, mate. Enjoy.
Amazing. Let's go and find the other man in the veterans equation who really gave us a good show. Darren Formosa. Well, that was a race and a half, wasn't it? You were battling at the back of the field and the front of the field, and you came through for second in veteran. Not a bad way to end the week.
It's not what we actually planned for, but look, I got turned around on that last corner there early in the laps, and I just had to fight, and I could see that I was catching Luke. Another couple of laps maybe, I might have had him, but one of them weekends, mate, just dust it off and let's go to the next round.
And it's definitely going to be an exciting one. You really seem to be building momentum to this last round of the championship. I think the Fireball team, as a general rule, are really starting to come good now.
Look, you're right. Like Fireballs, have done a fantastic job, especially this round, and they're just rolling with it at the moment. So that's really good. A little bit disappointing that last that super hit. I got DQ'd for a very, very minor infringement. It was because of I didn't have a C on the ignition timing, where in Australia we have a different one. But we were told that we were able to use them here, but the technical people said no, and that's why I got DQ'd, which is really disappointing because I've never played with engines in 41 years, and I don't plan to start playing and cheating now. So, but a little bit disappointing, but hey, we're all good, strong, and we'll be back next round. Thanks, mate.
And we can't wait to see you in that last round, mate. Good job. Well done.
Yeah, I might have an announcement too, maybe.
Okay, well, we'll wait for that, buddy. Good to hear from you.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Take care, Darren. Well, an amazing end to the Master X30 week. Very exciting stuff here. Very exciting scenes. But of course, now we head straight to the grid. Senior X30 is about to kick it on. There is a minute chance that a championship could be decided in this race, but a lot of different things have to happen for that to occur. I don't think any of the championship contenders are even thinking about that going into this race at the moment. The only priority is the W, a win. And all of the contenders in this competition know how tough it's going to be from the outset. 36 drivers who have made it to the Senior X30 final. They all deserve to be there. And a wonderful challenge awaits them as they get up to the starting grid. It was always going to be a tough one from the outset, but on the front row of the grid, it'll be Aaron Garcia and Putra Adam. Let's have a word with Putra first. Wonderful to see you back in karting and wonderful to see you back on the front row of the grid. Now comes the real test. You up for it?
Yeah, definitely up for it. It's been a while since I've been on the front row, but I think we'll have some fun this race, so we'll see.
The Paralin looks really good in the dry conditions on this circuit. A lot of decent success before already. How tough is it going to be to take on the King of the World, though?
Yeah, he's definitely quick, but we've prepared really well for this race. So really excited for this race. Let's see how we do.
It's great to see you back here at the front. Go get him, Putra.
Thank you.
So the Malaysian definitely ready for the task in hand. The 5-minute board is up. We'll have a quick word with the man who's conquered everywhere except Asia just yet, but he's certainly on the rise to do it. Aaron Garcia, you never back down from a fight. You never back down from a challenge. You're here on the front row, and it's looking reasonably sweet. There's an amazing amount of talent behind you. How are you feeling?
Well, we need to feel okay. We come 3 times here. We take 3 poles for the final. So, yeah, I think we have the pace. So, yes, let's give our best and let's try to win it.
You've got pressure on the rise from the Paralins, from the Birolats, from the Cosmics, from Shunsei Gucci. It is not going to be easy, even for somebody like you, to win this one. What's it going to come down to? Is it going to come down to intelligence? Is it going to come down to time management? What do you pin it on?
Well, I mean, it's a long final. I think it's quite good level here. So, yeah, will be 18 laps. So, yes, we need to manage everything. And we need to make the move we need to make the move on the right way and on the right moment.
We're ready. I hope you are, mate. Good luck.
Thank you.
Exciting times ahead in Senior X30. The final is definitely going to be a nail-biter. Whether there's a champion decided or not is completely irrelevant, and it will certainly be an exciting one for the man starting in third position. Toby Gale, looking forward to the challenge. I'm going to get the chance to have a quick word with him before we get the 3-minute board. Toby, third position. You missed Macau, but you certainly didn't miss the opportunity to make up for it. Now we're here on the second row. How do you rate your chances?
Yeah, really confident, really excited. Obviously, it's all to play for now, but, you know, we know what we need to do, and we know we will deliver.
You're in third position, which is on the inside of the second row. Does that take the pressure off a little bit? You can be the hunter rather than the hunted.
Yes, for sure, but, you know, obviously that doesn't make it any easier than it is. Yeah, the level's still really good, but we know what we need to do.
Well, the 3-minute board's up. Go get him, buddy.
Thank you.
Toby Gale ready for the fight. Alongside him on the grid will be the Bundaberg bouncer, Kai Burke. He knows that there is no second chances in this field, and he is definitely a top-level contender. Shun Sekiguchi, what a star. The son of Super GT and Super Formula ace, Yui Sekiguchi, really making his own credence out here. Sixth on the grid, Zadia Vrykal, the Junior X30 champion from 2024, now stepping up again to put himself into the firing line in 2026. And don't forget Dylan Tan, already a final winner this year from Thailand, and his big rival alongside him, Travis Teo, the former Senior X30 champion. So much talent, so much pedigree and caliber on this grid, so much to talk about. We better get started. The drivers prepare for the toughest race of the week. There really is nothing like a Senior X30 final. It stretches everyone to their absolute limits, and the adhesion is going to be high. Hopefully the attrition isn't, but it will certainly be exciting. You can definitely bet your bottom dollar on that one. There's at least 15 drivers in this grid with the talent to get the victory done, maybe even more, who have the potential. It'll be so difficult to predict. You've got to get everything right. You've got to have the right tire pressures. You've got to have the right setup. You've got to have the right consistency. You've got to be intelligent. You've got to be smart. You've got to be smooth. And then you've got to be lucky. Thank goodness I've got a seat in my commentary box position, because there's barely a seat left in the house up here. Everyone wants to get a front row seat to the action in the final race of the week. It's definitely going to be an interesting one as we now get ourselves into the mix of the battle. Second in the championship at the moment is Dylan Tan, 20 points behind the fantastic Toby Gale. If he outscores the championship contenders by 16 points going into this race, then he will be the champion. But the likelihood of that is very slim indeed. Behind the drivers we talked about on the starting grid already, here is the rest of the starting lineup. Wadapong Yamchan and Leonardo Mori, 9th and 10th. Paco Sarmiento, 11th on the grid from Danish Chen. Then Andrea Galimberti and Dominic Setyavan. Rafael Kamal and Sarah Kojima for Japan. Then in 17th, it's Sonny Ratcliffe alongside Mikola Masurie. Rachara Anantakan is behind Ashton Yong. Then Nathan Aria, Ethan Sito. Jerry T and Melvin Shane from Conrad Garrow and Lee Wei Tsen. Slat Anoras and Panya Yamchan. Bruce Chen is alongside Ryan Gunnar-Vordena. Then it's Caleb Tan and Aidan Forbes with Ethan Singer, Arman Sahu, Tianoran Chen and Amir Danish. So the last race of the week, the last race of the competition, the 5th round of the INFINITY IAME Series Asia. Of course, it's the Senior X30 final. Anybody who loves motorsport, anybody who loves karting, anybody who loves a sporting showdown will definitely be excited by this one. Senior X30 is as close to Formula One as it gets without money. Absolutely incredible battle. And all of the contenders have been working so hard to get up to this point. 36 of them left. Only one of them can come through for the 25 points to get the win. As we go into this final race of the week, Toby Gale has 96. Dylan Tan has 76. Kai Burke has 68. Garcia has 59. The absent Yukapo has 55. And Andrea Galimberti has 41. So it's unlikely that we'll crown a champion today, but it could just happen. So we get ourselves into the mix then as the drivers are ready for the nail-biting conclusion. Toby Gale has not only got to get into the lead, but he's got to outscore his rivals by 16 points to win the title today. It's looking very slim, but anything can happen in motorsport. What's really going to count is how many points are the championship contenders going to gain as we head to the season finale next month here at LYL. And for Aaron Garcia, this is almost personal. He's managed to get himself into a win across the line in Bira, a win in Macau. Now he wants to win in Malaysia. But alongside him on the grid, Putra Adam wants to win again in Malaysia. The final matters more than anything else. Toby Gale beside him will be determined to rack up some more points and put the title beyond further doubt. Out of the final turn, the engine revs rise, the Senior X30 final begins, and it's a great start from Putra Adam. Putra Adam cuts across and takes the lead from Garcia. Gale gets around the outside of Garcia, and it looks as though Toby Gale could even have the power to go around the outside. Gale is in front! I cannot believe it! What a start! He then loses ground on the exit, and Garcia finds his way back. Tan has gone with him. Amazing racing. Oh my goodness. We've got a crash on the far side as well. One car is in the barrier and going no further. So we've got one retirement already as Garcia and Dylan Tan have found their way into first and second place. Absolutely incredible as the drivers battle away for the hairpin on the first lap. There's a couple of choice maneuvers, but certainly everybody's still putting on a good show. I'm not entirely sure who it is that's gone off on the first lap. I think it might be one of the Stratos Motorsport karts that's ended up in the barriers, but I'm not entirely sure. So as the drivers work their way up the hill, there's certainly going to be a few spots made up the front, but incredibly, Gale had a line on the inside line and then round the outside line. And then eventually had to settle for third position behind Garcia and Tan. Then it's Gale, Yamchan, Sekaguchi, Mori, Putra Adam down in seventh place. Here comes the move, and up goes Dylan Tan. Gale's going to go with him if he keeps this on. Garcia's going to make sure that Gale stays back. So Dylan Tan takes the lead, and here comes Gale for the inside of Garcia. They tangle. Garcia fights back. Gale's on the curbs, and that lets through Yamchan and Sekaguchi. Aaron Garcia is making this a tough old race for everybody else. And now he's defending. Aaron Garcia is allowing Dylan Tan the chance to get away. Well, this is shades of Clement Outram at Genk a couple of weeks ago. IAME Benelux, we saw Clement Outram throw the defensive mark, and now it looks like we could see the same from Aaron Garcia. Up over the top of the crest. And is there going to be a move from Pata Yamchan to move forward? He's going to try and get this move. Here goes Gale on the inside of Sekaguchi. He gets back into fourth place. Dylan Tan has the lead. Tan is going well from Garcia. Yamchan in third position now in front of Gale. Sekaguchi, Mori, Adam. Here comes Gale to look on the inside of Pata. But he doesn't make the overtake. Raikal is in eighth from Teo, Galimberti, Burke, Kamal, Chen, Setyavan, and Sarmiento. Here comes the move from Gale. That's lovely. Into third place. He makes the dive there on the inside of Yamchan. So off the hairpin they go. The advantage, of course, is that there's a huge advantage at the moment for Toby Gale in the battle with Dylan Tan. But, of course, they've got to try and make up a 20-point deficit. Little bit cheeky on the inside there from the 2-1-4 of Danish Chen, but he bails out of the move before it becomes a proper collision. So Tan leads Garcia by a second. Oh, there's a run wide and two karts have come together in the chicane. It's one of the fireballs. I think that might be Sonny Ratcliffe, who's ended up losing a bit of time there. If not, it'll be his teammate, Rachaba Anatakan. So with 16 laps to go, it's a long old race for Dylan Tan, but he leads his teammate, Aaron Garcia, by a second. And now Toby Gale is going to have to work with his combatant for any chance of moving further forward. Toby Gale will be absolutely seething in his helmet. On the inside of Garcia, And Toby Gale into second place. Beautiful from the Birrellart driver. And that takes away some of the damage, because if Tan gets the win, he'll take 25 points. If Gale takes second, he'll take 20 points. He'll only lose 5. And even though the championship won't be won today, it makes it much easier for Toby Gale to win it in 4 weeks' time. Down to the hairpin once again. Big dive from Kai Burke. He gets a lovely move there on the inside of Travis Teo. And so Garcia works his magic. Out through the hairpin. Toby Gale up the climb. Still a big mission as they work their way around the hairpin. Kai Burke chasing after Travis Teo. Up the crest. Down the drop. And a big opportunity for the man behind him. That's Leonardo Mori trying to come through. Tan still leads, but Gale is pushing. 7/10 of a second is now the gap, so Tan is not as quick in a straight line, it would seem, as Toby Gale. Gale is really working hard to get closer to Dylan Tan. I think he wants a little bit of recompense for the way that the LOR Kart Republics made their way further forward. Great racing from Dylan Tan and Toby Gale. Here comes Kai Burke, trying to close up on Travis Teo again. The Australian trying to make the move on the inside line. But Toby Gale has really got the belief and the faith that he can work this forward. Couple of moves as Setivon closes up on Mori. Then Chen in 13th from Samiento, Lemasurier, Ratcliffe, Garo, Kojima, Aria, and Ashton Yong. The only retirement from this race is Jerry Tse on the Top 1 Kart Republic. So far, we've had Tianwen Chen, Melvin Shane, Bruce Chen, Panya Yam Chan, and Caleb Tan down to the back of the field for separate incidents earlier on in this race. They've lost a bit of ground, but there's still a lot that can play out in this race. Kai Burke to the inside of the hairpin, and he's there. Lovely from Kai Burke. Toby Gale is only 3/10 of a second back from Dylan Tan now, and he's pulled a second on Aaron Garcia too. So surely Gale is not going to be settling for second place for long. A big opportunity now for the for Toby Gale on the Birrellart. Through they come. Up to the hairpin. Onto the back straight. Here goes Toby Gale to the inside line. Have that! And the Birrellart hits the front. It's a proper Toby Carvery from Toby Gale. He makes it work to slice and dice the LOR Kart Republics and move back into the lead. If I'm going to win this championship, it's going to be on my terms, not yours, says Toby Gale. And he pushes his way back into first position. The Thai, based out of Pattaya, doing an absolutely amazing job. Out of the hairpin and onto the main straight. How much pace has the Birrellart still got? Dylan Tan second. Garcia is third from Shun Sakaguchi. Then Adam. No, it's not Adam. Yes, it is. It's Raikal in sixth. Then Galimberti. Kai Burke has fallen all the way to 13th, with Danish Chen dropping to 15th. So definitely some argy-bargy further back. But everyone's trying to find a little bit more pace out there. Certainly Galimberti has moved into the front of the Top 1 Motorsport gang. He's got ahead of his teammate Putta Yamchan. That's good enough for P7 for Galimberti. Garcia's under pressure now from Sakaguchi. Sakaguchi looking for the move on the inside line. The Japanese driver wanting to hunt down the Spaniard. So Toby Gale of Thailand in front of Dylan Tan of Singapore. Third place is the Spaniard Aaron Garcia and the Japanese Shun Sakaguchi in front of the Malaysian pair of Putra Adam and Zadia Raikal. Cresting the bridge. No worries at all for the men in pursuit. The DRM Paralins in 5th and 6th are being caught by the Top 1 Kart Republics of 7th and 8th, Galimberti and Yamchan. So it really is 2x2 hurrah at the moment. Gale and Tan, Garcia and Sakaguchi, Adam and Raikal, Galimberti and Yamchan. I don't think Dylan Tan has given up on this win yet either. This is great for Toby Gale. He can rest a little while now. He can back off the power a little bit. Look after the tyres, manage the pace. Just keep himself a little way in front of Dylan Tan. You don't need to be a country mile ahead. You just need to be enough that you've got something left in the tyres later on. It's the smart driver that wins in Senior X30, not just the fast one. Behind the top 8, we've got Mori, Setiavan, Teo, Lemasurier, Sarmiento, Kai Burke, Sonny Ratcliffe in the final points paying position. And then it is Danish Chen from Garo the Arrow, Arya Kojima, Yong, Kamal Anuras, and Ryan Gunavardhana. So Toby Gale and Dylan Tan, just 0.3 of a second between them. They are first and second in the championship, and they are the title protagonists. The gap between them, if the race finishes like this, is going to be 25 points. That's almost exactly a weekend score. It's certainly enough for a win, but only in the final. Gale and Tan trading sector times at the moment. Gale is doing a grand job. Dylan Tan in second. Garthia, Segaguchi, Raikal, Adam, Galimberti, and Yamchan. 10 laps left of the weekend. 10 laps left of the Senior X30 final on a day where only one X30 champion has been crowned today. The other 3 will all be crowned in September. Certainly if it stays like this, Gale needed to be a lot further in front of Dylan Tan, and currently he's only 0.4 of a second in front of him. Garthia and Segaguchi battling over third. Then it is Arya Raikal, who's got ahead of Putra Adam, who is slipping into the clutches of Andrea Galimberti. The talented teenager, Andrea Galimberti, having a very solid race of this. And he's certainly saving an aggressive run for last here. The 14-year-old from Desenzano in Italy. Did a great job at Chengdu the last time he's been racing in the Chinese championships. Only just recently turned 14 years of age as well. He was the youngest in the Senior X30 field at the start of the season. I believe he is still the youngest in the field at the present moment. So it's certainly turning out to be an exciting one for the contenders at the sharp end. And now Galimberti really pursuing Putra Adam. Sadly, the pace in the final has not been quite what he was hoping for. They went into the final with Putra Adam second on the grid. Sadly, the pace has not stayed with him in the way he wanted. 6th position at the moment, with Andrea Galimberti certainly trying to get the moves on him. They go over the top of the crest of the rise. And still Gale and Tan out in front. 0.4 of a second between them. Dylan Tan is not giving up the ghost. But the gap is increasing just a little between Gale and Tan. Just enough for Toby Gale to start thinking about the daylight between himself and the Kart Republic. He may have missed the weekend in Macau due to his exams, but boy, has he bounced back in fantastic fashion. 3rd on the grid for the final. And the victory is only 8 laps away. Now we've got Garthia and Segaguchi. Shun Segaguchi still trying to put the pressure on the world champion in X30. I mean, there is no official world champion, of course. The FIA would tell you that's their world championship title. But if you are in the IAME X30 driver, if you win the Warriors final, that is pretty much becoming world champion in the X30. In everything but name. Gale and Tan. Then it is Garthia, Segaguchi, Raikal, Adam, Galimberti, Yamchan, Mori, Mesurier. And then it's Burke, Teo, and Sonny Ratcliffe. Paco Sarmiento right in behind Dominic Setievan. So still some good battles all the way. Half a second between Gale and Tan. I'm a little concerned about that rain cloud overhead. It's starting to come in fairly quickly. 7 laps to go. What if it happens in the last couple of laps? It is coming in quickly. So there could be a couple of nightmare moments in the closing stages if the rain were to fall in the last few laps. But it's certainly looking pretty tricky out there for the drivers behind Gale and Tan. Garthia, Segaguchi, Raikal, then Adam Galimberti and Yamchan from Mori and Lemasurier. Kai Burke, Travis Teo, Sonny Ratcliffe, Dominic Setievan. And the final point looks like it's going the way of Garo the Arrow. Conrad Garo doing well here in 15th place ahead of Sarmiento, Chen, Arya Kojima, and Kamal. In front of Ashton Young, Ryan Gunavardhana, Sva Anoras. And then it is Ethan Sito and Aidan Forbes. Just 2 retirements thus far. That is Jerry G and Rachira Anantakan. Both of them out of the race. But Gale and Tan, 6/10 apart. And with only 6 laps to go for Toby Gale. This is a tough old race at the front end of the field. Sekaguchi really starting to increase the pace now on Garcia. And this is the battle for Burke and Teo for 11th position. I think Kai Burke is well aware of the fact that the chance to win this championship is slowly slipping away from him. They've given it everything they've got at LYL Asia, but it is the other man in the equation, Toby Gale, that is making the championship come to him. Up to the hairpin, and there is the 2-3-4 of Dylan Tan, still doing everything he can to stay in touch with the race leader, Toby Gale. The battle is going to be an interesting one as Gale leads Tan, Garcia, Sekaguchi, and Raikal. Putra Adam in P6 from Galimberti, Yamchan, Mori, Lemasurier, Burke, Teo, Sediavon Garrow, and Sonny Ratcliffe. 5 laps to go for Toby Gale then here in LYL. Always been a tricky one to get right this circuit. Toby Gale knows that more than many. And Dylan Tan is doing his best to stay with him. The tactic was good at the start, but Tan and Garcia were no match for the LYL Asia machine of Toby Gale. They really seem to have made good work of things. The mist is creeping up again. That rain cloud is getting closer and closer to the overhead of LYL. And when that breaks, it's going to be the mother of all thunderstorms. But are we going to avoid it? Or is it going to break over the circuit in time for this race to be shaken up one more time? Kai Burke in 11th from Teo. Setiavan, Garrow, Setiavan goes for the move on Teo. Never going to work, never going to happen on that particular move. As Garrow makes his own bid on Setiavan and decides against it in the end. Meanwhile, Lemasurier has got ahead of Leonardo Mori. That's good enough for the New South Wales state champion to move up into 9th place. Into lap number 15 goes Toby Gale. And that means we've only got 4 left. And here comes the move from Raikal. Raikal dives in on Sekaguchi. So Zadiev Raikal moves up into 4th. In the closing stages, he's got a chance to now go after Garcia, but only if the man he's already vanquished can now drop back to support him. So the Malaysian into 4th place. Here's Sekaguchi behind him. Sekaguchi will now have to team up with Raikal. All right, you got me. Now let's go after Garcia. But Toby Gale is not being caught. Dylan Tan is losing 1/10 of a second a lap to him. The last lap, Toby Gale did a 106.4. Dylan Tan did a 106.6. Sorry, they were both in the 106.8 on the last lap. My apologies. But there's not much to choose between them in terms of 1 lap pace. Gale has got the fastest lap, but he doesn't need to push any harder than he already is. 0.8 of a second, and he's out of the tow, Dylan Tan. 3 laps to go. Raikal is now a little bit further clear of Sekaguchi, and he wants to get past Garcia on the last lap. He's going to have to work at it. But Zadiev Raikal really working hard here. A good effort and a really solid push from the DRM Paralympic. The Malaysian driver, 16 years of age from Kuala Lumpur. Junior X30 champion in 2024. Won round 3 at this very circuit last year. But he's combining his race campaign with a European campaign as well. Out in front, though, Toby Gale is almost a second clear. In fact, he might be a second clear of Dylan Tan. And that takes him 1 step closer to being champion. Last year, it was almost written in the stars. And then bad luck and logistical challenges of Europe and his education got away from him. He had to miss Macau for an exam. But even without that, Toby Gale is going to take 5 points advantage more than Dylan Tan in this one. And that will take him 1 step closer to becoming champion. He can't seal it yet, but he will certainly have the chance to seal it here at LYL a month from now. And now Raikal has got to close up on Garcia, as meanwhile Galimberti is really going to push Putra Adam to make the bid to get into 6th position. Here comes Wadapong Yamchan. And Galimberti is going to hunt down Putra Adam. Can he get past the GT racer? Here comes Yamchad. Galimberti. Oh, what a move from Galimberti. Oh, sublime from the Italian. Excellent move. And a stunning bit of racecraft as there was a big battle up the hill. So Galimberti battling away and makes himself a big hole in the side of Putra Adams' challenge. And now Yamchad is going to try and battle away for position as Toby Gale looks over his shoulder. There is the man in second. Dylan Tan about to fall into the clutches of Garthia, who in turn could fall into the clutches of Zadia Vrykal. But right when it was necessary, Toby Gale has only pushed harder than he needed to. Big challenge from Vrykal on the last lap. Vrykal's going to give it everything to get past Garthia. Vrykal, he's not really on it. Garthia working hard here. Oh, and there's contact further back. That's Kamal and Teo. Travis Teo and, it's Sarmiento and Kamal. Sarmiento and Kamal have collided on the last lap. Oh, and Garthia's going for it on Vrykal. Garthia and Vrykal squabbling over third. We're watching Gale. And who's come out first? It's Garthia. He's held on in front of Sakaguchi and Vrykal. But out in front, one step closer to the title. He could get it 1 month from now. It's the Thai superstar, Toby Gale. Dylan Tan in second. And across the line, it's Garthia from Sakaguchi and Vrykal. Sakaguchi beats Vrykal over the line by 1,000th of a second. Amazing racing. Galimberti, Adam, Maury, Burke and Teo to the top 10. And he may not be champion yet, but Toby Gale is one step closer to the magic moment. A fantastic final from Toby Gale. No matter what the LOR racing team could throw at them, from the start to the finish, Toby Gale and LYL Asia were nothing short of sublime. It looks like it's destiny for Toby Gale. It got away from him in 2025. Surely not in 2026. He needed a miracle to win the title today, but he didn't need a miracle to win the final. He now leads the championship by 25 points with 36 available in the season finale back here next month. And surely with a 25-point lead, Toby Gale is the favorite to become the champion in 2026. What a performance. It looked at times like he was on the back foot. No chance. He was ready to claim it. Magnificent from Toby Gale. Second place for Dylan Tan. Third place for Alex Garthia. Side by side at the line for Shun Sakaguchi and Zadia Vrykal. What a star that Japanese talent is. Keep an eye on him in the future. But here come the drivers after a stunning final. That was a clean final, a hard-fought one, and it went right down to the wire between them. But in the end, Toby Gale made the difference count. Fantastic. Third position for Garthia, and the first thing he does is shake hands with the LYL Asia crew. Well done, fair play. He's a sportsman right to the end. Amazing stuff. And a fantastic way for this to finish. That's what I love. Not only is X30 an absolutely fantastic battle, but it's full of the world's best sportsmen. Fantastic stuff. Putra Adam and Zadia Vrykal, close, but not this time. Very good runs from them all. We need to keep an eye on the superstar Japanese Asian Sakaguchi. He's got a big, big future in the IAME Series Asia. What a star the Japanese driver was today. Really put on the steam. Dylan Tan coming through for second place. We're going to have to wait for Toby Gale. He had a very long victory lap, and I don't blame him. He wanted to soak it up. Big performances today from so many drivers. I think we're going to have a word with a few people. I can do this because he's on the other side of the barrier, so let's have a word. Michael Patrizzi, tough week for the team, but what a way to end it. You must be so happy with that.
Super. You know, this championship keeps growing and growing. Garcia here, you know, the green team comes with their star power this weekend and they're nowhere. And, you know, we're just so happy. This is such a good level.
When you've got drivers like that who's already conquered the world title in IAME, when you've got sports car drivers and GT drivers coming back in and showing their flair, and you can still come up with the goods, how much more of a feather in the cap does that give it?
I just love showing how good the Birol Art product goes, and we have some amazing drivers with us. You know, Toby, especially, and Kai, and our juniors. You know, and my little nephew. You know, he's putting on a good show at the moment, so he's growing as well. Just, it's so good to keep putting Birol at the front. You know, I believe in this product, have done for so long, and we just keep delivering.
What a nice night you're about to have. Enjoy it.
Yeah, the lounge at the KL airport is going to be a bit of fun.
Go and enjoy it, mate.
Thanks.
Amazing stuff. The drivers come in, and a wonderful, wonderful job. Here comes the moment. Toby Gale is about to go and celebrate, I believe. I think they need to lift the cart up, first of all, onto the trolley. Then they will go and greet the team boss, Michael Patrizzi. A fabulous, fabulous result for the man from Thailand. Here he comes to celebrate with his team boss, Michael Patrizzi. Go and celebrate first, buddy. Enjoy the moment. What a great result. The team are delighted. One step closer to the title. Toby, come and join me. That was a tough one. That really, really delivered your best kind of performance. You really had to dig deep and find it in the opening laps. What was it like trying to work your way through the onslaught of those kart republics?
It was really difficult. It wasn't how we wanted to open the race, but you know, kept our head down, lap by lap, picked them one by one, and came out on top.
My maths isn't always perfect, but you now lead by 25 by my calculations. 36 available for the win next time out. It's almost done. How much more is the confidence heading into next month's finale?
Even more, to be fair. You know, it's great to win 2 times this year. Should have been 3, but, you know, hopefully we can replicate this all over again.
We're looking forward to seeing what you do in the finale next time. It's in your hands. You can go get it. Well done.
Thank you.
Toby Gale managing to get the job done in the final on his own terms. Fantastic racecraft in Senior X30. And it couldn't be better timed because that rain cloud overhead is about to get very messy. We've dodged a bullet, but we've certainly been served up an amazing show. Stick around. The podium ceremony, we'll film it all. We'll give the drivers their trophies. But yet again, LYL, you've definitely given us a show. From me, Jake Sanson, we'll see you at the podium. TTFN. Attention paddock, attention paddock. If anybody has come across a tennis bracelet over the course of the last 2 days, please can you hand it into the registration office. If someone is missing it, if anybody has seen a tennis bracelet over the last couple of days, please can you return it to the registration office so that it can go back to its rightful owner. Thank you. once more, if there is a tennis bracelet that anybody has found over the last 2 days, if you can please take it to the registration office so that it can be returned to its rightful owner. Thank you. Championship crown. And we have invited from Malaysia Karting Championship Mr. James Leong to give the trophies out in Malaysia. We will start with the junior competition, Junior X30, the top 3 drivers. In 3rd position, Michael Lederer. Michael Lederer may have already made his move to the gate, so we'll return to that later. In 2nd position, Santok Singh. Sahil Singh. Looks as though he has already left, so we will make sure the drivers in Junior X30 in IAME Malaysia get their trophies in the future. Moving on then to the cadet category, we'll give up the top 3 drivers for IAME Malaysia in the top 3. Making sure everybody is here because we are obviously into the podium ceremony. So let us award the cadet top 3 in IAME Malaysia. In 3rd position, Tanasha Bradella. She took a podium victory in IAME Sri Lanka last week, and here she is in fantastic fashion. 3rd position in IAME Malaysia for Sri Lanka, Tanasha Bradella. And in 2nd position, Liban Luis Kanan. I believe he has also already gone home. And so, the winner's trophy for Tuta Minset. Where is Tuta? If we can have a representative for RL Karting to collect the trophy on behalf of Tuta Minset, that would also be perfectly acceptable. Maybe they have already got the plane back to Thailand, because obviously it's a bit of a trip back to the podium. We'll make sure the drivers get their trophies from IAME Series Malaysia. But a big hand for Tanasha Bradella, ladies and gentlemen. A big congratulations to Tanasha. Thank you, buddy. Now we go to the Senior X30. It is 2 drivers in position to pick up the trophies in IAME Series Malaysia. In 2nd position, Ethan Singer. We'll make sure he gets his trophy at a later date. And the winner in IAME X30 Senior in the Malaysian Karting Championship, Amir Danish. A big congratulations to Amir. Very good racing over the course of the week. His debut in IAME Series Asia. And he picks up the Malaysian Championship trophy for the win up in the top spot. Oh, here comes Ethan Singer. He is here. Amir, stick around, because Ethan Singer is here to collect his trophy in 2nd position. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. So the top 2 drivers in Senior X30. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Ethan Singer and your winner, Amir Danish. Congratulations to our drivers on the podium in IAME Malaysia. So now we will go to the IAME Series Asia overall podiums, the top 5 drivers receiving trophies. And to present the trophies, please welcome the Deputy Director of Ministry of Youth and Sports of Malaysia, Mr. Azli. So we would invite Mr. Azli, the Deputy Director of the Ministry of Youth and Sports of Malaysia, to give out the trophies on the podium to the top 5 drivers in IAME Series Asia here in round 5 at LYL 2026. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Azli. He will give out the trophies to all of the competitors in the top 5 places of each of our categories. Thank you for your patronage, sir. We'll start with the junior competition, the top 5 drivers in Junior X30. In 5th position for Australia, Chevy Thompson. A massive congratulations to Chevy on his debut in the category, and he comes away with a top 5 position. So he will be to the other side of the podium in P5. Thank you, Chevy. In fourth position for Japan, Kaito Lloyd. An absolutely amazing week for Kaito. Didn't set a time in qualifying, had to start last in the races, and to come through with a podium is incredible. Next up, in third position for Australia, Knox Black. Thought Knox was always going to be a contender this weekend, and great to see him put on an amazing effort here this weekend at LYL. In second position, also for Australia, Jay Kostecki. Well, it looks as though Jay has already had to make the exit, so we will make sure we get his trophy to him. If there's a representative for Top 1 who wants to collect the Top 1 trophy for Jay Kostecki, looks like Kalen Delsey in the cadet category. He will collect Jay's trophy on his behalf. And so to the winning driver, ladies and gentlemen, your round 5 winner in Junior X30 for Thailand, Kevin Supavanitchanan. One of the hardest working drivers in the paddock. It's taken such an amazing amount of time for him to get to this level. He deserves this accolade big time. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Junior X30 podium here at LYL for INFINITY IAME Series Asia round 5. A massive congratulations. Let's get everybody together on the top step of the podium for a group picture. Go on, Knox and Chevy. You can squeeze in. Excellent display, guys. Well done. I'm sure Jay will get his trophy in due course. But as for the others, a massive congratulations. You gave us an amazing spectacle to finish off with. Ladies and gentlemen, your Junior X30 podium. So now we move on to the Master X30 podium. A very exciting battle. We'll start with the top 5 drivers in Master X30. So in 5th position, representing Singapore, Ian Willock. A massive congratulations to the Eugene Racing Tony Kart star, once again putting on a great show in the finale. In 4th position, representing Malaysia, Harith Zarilo. He only just made it to the podium in time. Well done, Harith. That is what you call fashionably late. But very nicely done for Harith Zarilo. Just as his name was being called, the FR Racing Johor driver makes his way to the rostrum. Good timing, Harith. In 3rd position, also for Malaysia, Tiru Kumunan. I have a feeling Tiru Kumunan is going to be running up the stairs faster than he's ever run in his life. We did say that the podium was taking place in 10 minutes. He's a surgeon. He should be on time for everything. Hopefully he's on his way up in a moment. So we'll come back to Tiru when he's got a chance to get up the stairs. In 2nd position for Thailand, Wirasak Yamchan. The former Master X30 champion, putting on easily his best weekend of the 2026 campaign. Only a couple of seconds behind the victory at the dais. But your race winner, representing Australia, Luke Armstrong. The winner in Master X30, and now sealing the deal to become the Master X30 champion of 2026. His point haul means he is the king of 2026. With 1 round still to play. I think Tiru will have to make sure his trophy gets to him at a later date. But as for the rest of the contenders, ladies and gentlemen, your Master X30 podium 2026 in round 5. Congratulations, gentlemen. Oh, Tiru, your timing was so bad, mate. Guys, quickly, back on the podium. Sorry, guys. Trust Tiru Kumaran to make you all late. But here's Tiru Kumaran. He's got himself together. I do not want to come to your practice for an appointment, Tiru. Here we go. Tiru Kumaran is here. You're a surgeon, mate. You're supposed to be on time. Don't worry, he's here. Oh, come on, Tiru. You can get that back on. Careful. Careful. Do you know what? He knows his limitations. Ladies and gentlemen, Tiru Kumran makes it on time. There we go. We have got our top 5 on the rostrum. Give it up for Ian Willer, Karen Sabralo, Tiru Kumran, Willis Kamchan, and your winner, Luke Armstrong. I'm afraid that isn't fashionably late, Tiru. That's just late. It's all right. Next up, we have the top 5 drivers in the Veteran X30 category. A very tough battle all the way through. Starting from 4th position for Hong Kong, Tam Yuk Ho. I believe he has already left, so we will move on to the 3rd position trophy. In 3rd place, representing Malaysia, Zaidi Zulkarnain. A very good run for Zaidi, his first weekend in the championship in 2026. Great to see him put on an amazing effort all through the week. And obviously to the podium in the final race of the weekend. In 2nd position, representing Australia, Darren Formosa. Hopefully he'll be here. He may well have to run up the stairs himself. Well, hopefully he'll be able to get here on time when we get to the final picture. But let's hand the winning trophy to the Veteran X30. Winner in round 5 here at LYL, representing Australia, Luke Purser. An amazing drive, as high as P3 on the opening lap, and managing to come through for the Veteran Trophy in fantastic fashion. He was a well-deserving winner here, and an absolutely amazing run. Our Simon Racing is here to collect the trophy on behalf of Tam Yuk Ho. Hopefully that gives us a chance to get Darren Formosa forward to come and collect the trophy in 2nd position. Hollywood, where are you? Come on, my friend. If someone from Fireball would like to collect it on Darren's behalf, please do. So that is the number 4 trophy. That'll be given to the team principal of Simon Racing to hand on to Tam Yuk Ho. Where is Darren Formosa when you need him? Hopefully there is someone from Fireball Motorsport in the room who can at least collect the trophy on Darren's behalf. Unless we're going to have to move on. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, your veteran podium for round 5 here at LYL 2026. Congratulations, guys. So now we move on to the top 5 drivers in the Cadet X30 category. A very exciting battle all the way through in the cadet race. It was always going to be a tricky one, and they kept us on our toes right the way to the checkered flag. The top 5 drivers coming through for the trophies. In 5th position, representing Hong Kong, Carson Choi. He took his first ever pole position in time qualifying and utterly deserves to be here on the rostrum after a very busy week. His first weekend with DRM, and already some silverware to boot. In 4th position, representing Indonesia, Jaden Arya. A great result for Jaden. Right from the start of the week, he was a top contender and absolutely in a great position. You can stand in the front of the 2 there, Jaden, otherwise the cameras might not see you. In 3rd position, representing Thailand, Kaylen Delcy. The highest ever result in a final for the Thai, Kaylen Delcy. And the top 1 team are delighted that he has not only joined them, but delivered a trophy on his first weekend. In 2nd position, representing Indonesia, Sabil Basalama. The man who keeps the championship fight alive until the season finale a month from now. What a great drive from Sabil Basalama here in Malaysia. But for the first time in his short career, your race winner in Cadet X30 for Indonesia, Muhammad Wibowo. He carries the flag of Indonesia to the top step of the podium. It's been the most successful round of late for the country in many years, and a very delightful end to a fantastic week of motor racing. Let's get all 5 drivers on the top step of the podium for a picture with Mr. Asley. and a wonderful end to a fantastic week. The championship fight goes on to September, and we give it up for Carson Choi, Jaden Aria, Kaylin Delsey, Sabel Basalama, and your winner, Mohamed Wibawo. Congratulations, gentlemen. We will see you here once again on the second weekend of September. Last but by no means least, we will now have the provisional results, the podium ceremony for Senior X30. There'll be plenty more times for photographs at the end of the podium ceremony. The podium will, of course, stay in position. Plenty more photographs available. The results are provisional, but we will still award the top 5 drivers with their trophies. So, first of all, in 5th position, representing Malaysia, Zadiev Raikal. A very strong result for the 16-year-old from Kuala Lumpur. 5th position after a very exciting battle all the way through the race. Great to see him in the top 5 places. In 4th position, representing Japan, Shun Sakaguchi. Continuing on the Sakaguchi family tradition, his father Yui was a great driver in Super GT and Super Formula. Now he continues the baton into IAME X30. In 3rd position, representing Spain, Aaron Garcia. Continuing on his investment, the IWF World Champion and Euro Series Champion of IAME X30 continues his journey in Asia with another podium finish. In 2nd position, representing Singapore, Dylan Tan. A very successful weekend for the Singaporean, and one step closer to fighting for the Senior X30 title next month in Malaysia. But the championship leader has taken another great victory for Thailand. Please welcome Toby Gale. He now moves 25 points clear at the top of the championship. That will see itself out in the 2nd weekend of September. And what a battle between the Senior X30 contenders here in Malaysia. All 5 drivers together on the podium. And what a conclusion to the week. Ladies and gentlemen, Zadiev Raikal, Shun Sakaguchi, Alan Garcia, Dylan Tan, and your race winner in Senior X30, Toby Gale. Well, yes, you're clear. He was fashionably late, but we'll let him have his trophy on the podium anyway. 2nd in the X30 veteran. Please welcome Darren Formosa. No worries, Darren. You still get your moment of glory on the podium, my friend. You've earned it. It's all good, Darren. I think that beats Harith Zaralo for fashionably late. Well done, buddy. Congratulations to the Australian. He gets 2nd in the veteran category. Well, that about wraps it up for the action here in IAME Series Asia. A wonderful battle here at Malaysia in the LYL International Circuit. But guys, we will be back on the 2nd weekend of the competition. A massive thank you to Mr. Asdi for your patronage of assisting us in giving out the trophies. We shall return for more action-packed drama from the X30 categories, Cadet, Master, Junior and Senior, when the championship kicks off again for its final weekend on the 2nd weekend of September, back here at LYL in Kuala Lumpur. From me, Jake Sanson, and all the Connects team, from all of us here, thank you for watching. We'll see you for the season showdown in Malaysia next month. Bye for now.